Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. Sean Driver with Brendan, producer B, set up in Massachusetts for this one. My last League One game, my last game, watch along for the next month, because I am off to soak it in live, or be really, really frustrated because there's going to be there's at least one game that I'm not going to be able to watch at all because it will be blacked out and I get to live and suffer through those pains and won't be able to attend on that one anyway. So anyway, producer B is going to be filling in for me and doing all those sorts of things here, filling out the roster on this one and adding some commentary and doing all of the magic that he does in the background. How are ya? How the hell are ya? And yeah, what's up?
I am good. I'm ready for this. Well, this is going to be 5 hours straight today, or more than that, probably, when we get the Wrexham women against Swansea. But yeah, first things first. Let's take care of business. Let's whoop up on Mansfield in Mansfield.
Yeah, and massive changes to the roster. We'll go through that. We've got big changes with both teams in their lineup doing some silly, crazy, amazing things. Hi, W&Gs. Check it in. I'm just going through the list here of everybody there. There's a Premier League match at the moment. It looks like everybody's filling in. Where do we start with this one? Do we start with the good news and just lead up with yesterday and then get into the rosters? Because, I mean, I think most people
start with that good news. All positive scores from yesterday.
Yeah, and you and I had one slight disagreement beforehand, but really we're cutting things a little fine as far as yesterday was about as perfect as it could have gone. If you haven't been following along, you got the table sitting up there now just to kind of take you through them. Birmingham ended up with a draw away to Reading, so both of those teams losing points, which massively helpful. Birmingham still sitting at first and really walking their way to the end. I don't think anybody's going to be able to catch them. 2 games in hand over Wickham, 1 game in hand over us, and they've got a 6 to 12 point advantage. They're doing their thing. Wickham drew at home to Wigan Athletic, and so Wigan, they've been kind of spoilers throughout the year, dropping wins and ties and taking points when they should have, but helping us out. So a win here today, knock on wood, do whatever you need to do to just make sure that this doesn't. We'd be within three points, and destiny would be back in our hands. I guess minus the goal differential, which is sitting at 8 goals, so maybe not. But things get a heck of a lot easier than it was previously. Stockport, with the really good news, getting smashed away by Cambridge 2-0. I haven't watched any of that. I see that there's a red card in the 93rd minute, but the stats looked relatively even when I looked at it. So I don't know exactly what's happened there, but we'll take it. Huddersfield also losing to Posh, which is interesting because we'll play them Wednesday, Virtue Trophy. So we'll see what that means. Maybe a little bit of confidence. Maybe it doesn't matter. Who knows? And then you've got Leyton Orient, who ended up this was the one that we were kind of, I questioned, like, was that the perfect result or not the perfect result? They ended up losing to Bolton. So you could have taken a draw there and maybe both teams losing, but obviously the higher team lost points. That's good news. What were your thoughts? Did you watch any of that going in? Were you cuddled up to your Google or your FOTMob or whatever giving you score updates, Brendan? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I was looking at all that stuff yesterday. The funny thing is when we're playing and we're doing the show, it seems like in the first half hour, the scoreboard looks awesome for Wrexham. And then I'm like, I can't say anything. I can't jinx it. And then we all start talking about it in the chat. And the next thing you know, almost every one of them goes the other way. So I was watching it the other day and I was like, well, at least I'm not jinxing it aloud on stream, right? So, but then they all finished well. So yeah, quite excited about that. It just seems like a missed opportunity. We should have won the game last week, and between that and a win here, and second place, you're right there. So
it's all available for us. I just caught word that Deandra put this in the stadium that the women's game has been postponed.
If she says it is, it is. That's it's a bummer. I didn't look it up or anything.
I was just about to figure that out. We called for rain everywhere, right? 8-9 degrees, but there's David Swansea running scared after the last weekend. They need extra time to prepare.
Yeah.
So call the game for the rain. Right?
I'm guessing.
Yeah. Anyways, it'll be a shorter day for us, and will mean I'll have to get another graphic up before I go and get that prepared. I will have my laptop. I will be able to set up everything as we go away. So jump on in, everybody. If you're over on Twitter, you're over on Twitch, and you're following there, jump on over to YouTube, youtube.com/the-red-horde. Sign in there. I'll take part in the chat, subscribe, let the algorithm know that we're here. Where do we go from here? So it's the stadium, or the matches look good. The stadium does not look good. The old One Call Stadium, formerly the Field Mill, got renovations everywhere. I'm surprised they got this game off. More than 7 millimeters of rain had fallen in the last 24 hours. I jest and joke, but not really. But it's the stadium's getting a little bit of work, putting a Band-Aid on her, I guess. Lots of history to this one, so you're not moving this old girl. You just got to fix her up, and I think that they've been chinching on the capital a little bit, using the money for players and not upgrading the stand. So it's probably going to be a little bit pricey to fix it. And look at me making controversy, but we'll see. The rosters, the lineups, the starting 11. Let's take care of that. If you wanted to start with Wrexham, because there's certainly stuff to talk about here.
Yeah, go for it.
Arthur Ogonko in net, that screams and makes imminent sense to me. In the back line, we've got the biggest changes. Brunt is out and TOC is in. I haven't been able to find out if Brunt is injured. If those of you in the audience have comment on Brunt being out. David Wood says, I don't live far from Mansfield. It's very wet and windy. Don't expect pretty football today, for other reasons too. I think this is going to be a weather-related and a player-related low-scoring snooze fest. And I'll watch it be like an 8-2 game. But so I haven't heard why Brunt's out, but he's out. TOC is in. Hi, Em. How are ya? On the wings, here's the biggest surprise. Barney's on the bench, not on the wing. Longman's going to be on the right. The other one, McLean, who's got a hip issue potentially, on the left. I haven't heard that Barney's injured. I just think a lot of people saying that they think Barney's been off of it the last few weeks. I'm sorry. Him running at 50% is still better than what we've got.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not time to F around here. And John Lane says, what happened to Brunt? I didn't think he deserved to be taken out to the woodshed. And that's what I haven't seen an injury thing. I could be wrong. I could be missing. It could be something that's in
this could be with McLean down. They have no one that they feel comfortable with corner wise. So that's why TOC's back in.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you got Ollie on the one side to take over from him. And he had been recently.
But that's where TOC and McLean switch off.
You're right. McLean's from the right, Rathbone from the left. My mistake. I wasn't thinking. It's early. So that's potentially it. Needing to have, but not even on the bench. Scars on the bench. Well, and that could be. Let's try and justify some of the insanity here. The subs. So let's move around. Then we've got our midfield. Then Dobson, Cannon, Rathbone. So that's no Matty James. He's on the bench. Seb Revan, as we said, on the one side, Sam Smith, Jay Rodriguez up front. We'll come back and revisit that. But let's go back to what our sub bench looks like. We've gone with 3 strikers on the bench today, where normally we've had 2, and we've added in somebody to run the wings or a defender. So Mullen, Fletcher, and Marriott. Mullen actually gets some time on the bench and is a sub. Here's my question for you. Do you think that Rodriguez in pairing with Smith is the right idea?
Look, Sam seems to be the best threat. Maybe Marriott is close behind, but he just doesn't have enough time to show it. But Smith is very dangerous up there, and Rodriguez is super active. He seems definitely better than Palmer. Don't know that he's better than Fletcher, but we don't think we can run Fletcher 90 minutes for the last 13 games. So he, as far as a stand-up guy or a second guy, he's probably the best option, right? So, yeah, it makes sense, those two. I mean, I don't know that they don't work well together. I don't know what you're saying, whether you think chemistry isn't there, but
Well, I get that Parkey and his system or his style or whatever has Rodriguez playing off of Smith. He wants his body playing off of another striker for whatever the value is of that. When really does, man, they're going with all people I don't know them by name, but all people I recognize from Vancouver up on the screen today. Is that's the second set of people I recognize. In any event, I would like to see Marriott and Smith run up there and see what happens with the system when you have two sort of pit bull attacking, fast, dynamic forwards having a rip rather than a hold up guy and a scorer in the traditional sense.
I don't disagree with that. No, I would have liked to seen that. I just was I guess I was making Parkey's case for him, right?
Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of people that say this is pretty damn close to the perfect lineup. The other thing that, what happened to George Evans? I mean, we saw him during the Virtue Trophy. He looked good, didn't he?
Yeah.
And so if you've got Matty James, so a lot of criticism, and surprising to me because I thought that he'd been one of the better players that are out there that said, the pace isn't there defensively. He's got some, he's let himself down. He's no Dobson when it comes to the defense, but what you get from him is exceptional passing. And somebody said, well, but he hadn't missed how many passes? And I was like, I didn't notice that he had missed a bunch of passes, but maybe I had rose tinted glasses on. And so he needed to have a change, but there was a big shout for him to come out of the lineup. And so I thought, okay, if there is a shout for him to come out of the lineup, what do I want? And the answer for me was Dobson slides back into his role. Rathbone stays up on the left-hand side, or sorry, and Cannon on the right, or alternatively, which is what we've kind of got today, or alternatively, if George Evans is healthy, he goes into the back line because you've got now vision, passing, solid defense. He's got all those metrics with either Dobson and Cannon on the right and Rathbone on the left of that inner three-piece. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but do you think George Evans has a home in this midfield anymore, or is he just going to get passed over?
No, I think he's needed. I mean, Matty James looks like he's one injury away from being done, right? So at the very least, you'd have to have a backup option there. And I wouldn't mind them squeezing him in every once in a while. I think it came down to, that goal by Cannon, and Cannon looking pretty good when he's in. And then, giving James a break, and then who's the next guy that really earned it? Maybe it's Cannon. That's why they're getting him in and shifting guys around. So.
Yeah. So in any event, the lineup is going to be an interesting one. Our top two guys minute-wise for the year in McLean and Barnett are not in. And so that's a big shift. But if you've got the Mansfield one, it's maybe arguably even more of a shift for them. Mr. Pym. And I say that every time I think of Pym, Christy Pym, I think of the Pym, the drink, the alcoholic beverage, Pym's Cup, and probably the wrong association. Flinders, Scott Flinders, is that who it is? Do I have the right name? Scott Flinders, 38 years of age. This is now his third season. Well, he didn't play any minutes last year, but he was with them 2 years ago. He played 4 games. So far this year, he's had one start, 150 minutes, and one other game. I don't know what's up with Christy Pym. Couldn't find an injury, but not in the lineup. He's on the bench. They have, of their top 11 players, they've taken out a midfielder, Oshalaya. He's on the bench. Hewitt, he's nowhere to be seen. He's off entirely. Cargill, who we think might have an injury, he's off. One of their top defenders, and Brendan, at least in your eyes, he's better than Flint, right? Yeah. I disagree. I have a thing for Flint. I think he's capable. Hopefully not today. I hope Brendan is correct, and I'll have to reconsider my thought process and my knowledge of the game, if it's anything at all. And then Gregory also out. So they've really, really rejigged their lineup. So we have Wrexham making massive changes in the sense that we've got still 2 new guys up front. We're going to go with Longman and Revan on the wings. It's going to be a bit of a mess there for us, I think, getting the engine started. And for them, 5 of their top 11 are out as far as minutes go. And so I think we're going to be dealing with weather-induced, player-induced ugliness. What are we hoping for out of this one?
3 points, period. Doesn't have to be pretty.
Just get a 1-0 ugly win on the road and get in and bite. If you haven't been able to see the stadium to the Field Mill Stadium, now One Call Stadium, are those the Wrexham fans? It almost sounds like it's a recording, but it's not. Whoa.
Welsh Techie and
Welsh
Eat More
Techie.
Chips.
Eat More Chips. There with
really
the donation. Nice. And it was nice. I jumped onto a stream just really quick with Josh. It was funny. I had people coming to the cat sitters were here, and they had a young lad, 18 years of age, who's going to be one of the cat sitters. And he was all fascinated with the little studio thing that I got going up on here. And he was like, this is crazy. And then I said, well, yeah, I'll show you around. And I was logged on, and I see that the local pundit was on doing a show. So I jumped on there really quick. Techie came on and joined as well. And we had a chat, but it was a lot of fun to see this kid who was standing beside, just like, it all went live and was taking place. I was like, I'm not really a celebrity, but in any event, I haven't still Welsh Techie, Matt Al, Matt from Racecourse Ramble, Jerry, and like so many people have been sending me messages. And getting all that stuff set up that I'm just really, really stoked. And Jeff signing up on his own accord to be a supporter. This is a good start to the day as we figure everything out. So thank you for that. Mansfield are sliding. Very short team. One player is a massive 5'6". So we're going to be dealing with short and spry. And I was going to talk about the One Call Stadium. That whole one ground is that the Scott Bishop Stadium street stand, Scott Bishop Street stand. Looks like it's still down and has been under construction for 6 months. And I'm looking at it and seeing what state of construction it is and going, holy. I get that sometimes it takes a while to put spade into ground, but there's not a lot of pace to the builds here. Is what I get it. In England takes their time. How cool for you and the kid. Are you talking about my kid?
No, the kid, that 18-year-old.
Oh, the kid. And the kid, the 18-year-old. Yeah, I was surprised. Then he wanted all the stories. Show me your setup. Oh, he used OBS. Oh my God, what's that all look like? So it was this fascinating thing that I was like, it's just a channel of 2,500 people, and it's really mostly just friends. And he's like, he was baffled. 42,000 hours people have watched our ugly mugs on screen, Brendan.
Wow,
42,000 hours. Anyway, so. We know the rosters are a bit of a mess. We know this is a bit the weather's a bit of a mess. The stadium itself is a bit of a mess. The table's not. Where do we end up going from here? What else is there to talk about? I don't even know. We're 10 minutes away, and I guess we've built it up. If you've got thoughts there and setting them up, you are a star, I guess. How big is the pitch compared to the Kairos? You know what? I'd have to go and pull that up, and I can pull that up. Well, why don't you talk predictions? I'm going to throw my prediction and just say it's going to be a 1-0 game, and I'm just hoping it's us that scores first. And so I'll say 1-0 us. What do you say?
I'm okay with that. You're usually jinxing us, and you're not talking crap today. So I think it's going to bode well for us. I think the 1-0 is going to come.
I don't dare. I guess I didn't say this, and I wanted to talk about the importance of this one in the sense that we're still trying to. I said last game we're trying to figure out who our identity is, right? And find out, are we the team that's a lot better? Are we not? And we answered that question with a resounding no. We're not ready. Last game, and that was frustrating to me. This one, if we end up, I don't know if a draw is even enough. If we end up losing this one, there is going to be an explosion that we haven't seen since the Rob and Ryan takeover. And there you go. Stoke is 102 by 68. I'm just going to bring up the I was bringing that up while we click, but Ken's got that. So thank you. I did mine in yards for everybody who likes their freedom units and doesn't know what a meter is. I forget what I was talking about. That's how tired I am right now. Anybody else remember? I can't remember either. I'll just go to Mansfield. Where are we? Field Mill, Mansfield. So really 114 by 70 yards. It's tied for 16th as far as the stadiums go. And I did do a Wrexham one, and did I update it? No, it's on the, and Wrexham's sitting at tied for 9th.
By the way, in the chat, a lot of people jumping in.
I don't
Kyle asked the question that is on most men's mind. From one married man to another, he asked how you convince your wife to allow you to do a stream for a couple hours on a Saturday morning. Well, she's still sleeping a lot of the time, which is helpful, since Sean has to get up so early to do these. But
and she's English, and so she understands the whole football.
She understands.
And let's be honest, part of this is sort of a guilt trip, because I said to her, look, this is a hobby of mine, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to do some stuff. And I said, it could be worse. I could be sitting in the pub on Friday nights. I could be leaving all Saturday to go and do an activity, but I'm here with
golf. You could golf for 5 hours on Saturday.
Golf for 5 hours, but this is going to be my thing. And so that's like the best of bad options, I suppose. Is what was there. Ken says it's, and I don't want to say he's wrong. Stoke is 102 by 68. 112 by 74 in yards. Huh. Well, then my numbers are off from wherever my source was, which was, I used 2 different sources, and I don't have them off the top of my head, but I remember cross-referencing them. So I'll have to look at that and double check to make sure that those are right in another episode. Going back to what I was talking about, Field Mill or Mansfield, this game, and why it is as important as it is if we lose this one, things look really, really bleak. And I guess that's the concern that I have is if you look at our top 5, you look at the matches, you see the gray and the red and everything that's sitting beside it. But you've got a loss to Leighton, you've got a loss to Stevenage, you've got a draw with Birmingham, a loss to Shrewsbury. And thrown in the mix there, you've got a win against Northampton. Yeah, okay. And an ugly sort of desperate win against Crawley. Yeah, okay. But it hasn't looked glowing. And we end up losing this. We get into Bolton and Huddersfield starting next Saturday. Could call it St. David's Day. Could call it the day of my arrival. There's going to be a lot of heat.
You are more wrong about this than you've ever been about anything else. I am not worried. Even if they were to lose, they're starting to look better. Even if they play very well, they could get stuck down in playoffs, right? And if we go through because of playoffs, then so what? And if this team's finally turning it around offensively, looking dangerous from something other than across from Barney, then I'm happy, right? Like, we look far more dynamic. We're playing harder in general than we were in the middle of the season here.
Did you not watch the second half of the last game?
I only see positives right now. If you win this slush-filled, windy game, I mean, it's how do you look? If you look really good and it just doesn't work out for you, fine. If you are getting your butt whooped and you're sulking around, well, that's a different thing. But I'm not thinking that's what's happening. I'm thinking we're coming out hard. I'm thinking we still got momentum, whether or not we got the 3 points last week. So, yeah, I'm still quite positive.
Look at the positivity of the American, the friendly life is good. It's rainbows and sunshine. Or isn't I'm supposed to be the polite everything all is well and there's no controversy, no issue. Look, we are diametrically opposed on this one, and the issue for me is the whole second half. Not only has it been bad, but it wasn't that we lost. It wasn't that we played poorly. It was that we didn't have the effort. And outside of Ollie Rathbone, And who else can I give credit to for that one? That's pretty much about it. Sam Smith. And other than that, I didn't think that we were into it, and that was where the concern was. Just so that if you're watching, the Stags have all lined up. We're waiting for Wrexham AFC to make their appearance before they come out of the tunnel. I just think that with the lineup that's coming of games down the road, with Bolton and Huddersfield waiting, and then you're going to have Wickham and Stockport after that we can't stuff around. And that's not to be disrespectful to Mansfield, but we've got the team, we've got the ponies, and yes, the eye test has been passed, but we aren't performing, we aren't finishing, we aren't doing what we need to do. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it all gets picked up. Giselle had the same exact debate with her hubby. There they are, the teams are ready. I even went with last year's away to try and get some of the funk off of this. And also because I had the other stuff packed up, which is crazy. I'm not bringing this kit to Wrexham, so this is the one that I could wear today. Today, the Dragons feed on Damn Stag. I'm all for it. They're making their way out of the tunnel. It's going to be a 3-sided stadium, and man, these things are killing my ears. So we're only going to be one game today, which will be fascinating and interesting as we get this one all lined up and set to go. Anybody else with score predictions? Did I get yours? I said 1-0 us, and I missed yours if you said it.
No, I agreed with you, 1-1. Sorry, 1-0. I saw
1-0.
some 1-1s, but I like the 1-0 us.
Wind says moderate, 35 kilometers an hour. That doesn't look moderate. It doesn't feel moderate either. Yeah, those flags were moving, weren't they? Straight horizontal. And it was going away from right to left, I believe, is where they made their exit onto things. So we'll see how they all line themselves up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because it's a 3-sided stadium, and the side that's being renovated is directly opposite. But I read, and if somebody's here from Marcus is here from Mansfield, maybe not, but if somebody's in the know, I read that stand has been under construction for 6 months. And so I just sit back and I look at that stadium and be like, man, it's 6 months. That's the progress that it gets you. So there's George saying 2 or 3-1 Wrexham. Thinking there's goals in this one. Barney in Parky's back pocket. If this one goes well, we can do an immediate rematch. Brendan and Sean, my hope for Wrexham is bring their game as well. And you're welcome, Dave. Appreciate that. I keep telling everybody that they're like, I had my teeth done, was talking about the YouTube channel, and they were like, that's crazy. And I was like, you know what? It sounds weird. It's a community. And we've gone through love and loss. We've gone through ups and downs with a club. We all kind of know everybody's personality a little bit. We've got feisty ones and the Princess Diary. For those of you who don't know, during the women's match, I guess somebody hasn't seen Princess Diary. I'm all for giving the channel up for a watch along. Do we set that up for this one? We could have done the movie watch along instead of the women's game. I don't know how to set that up. Do we do that instead? Do we leave that for another day? Do we wait for the off season? Do we strike while the iron is hot and everybody's interested? Dave, thank you again, my friend. It's much appreciated. I'm going to be setting a goal. I want to, when I go over there, meet with them and talk about their one thing they didn't do this season that I'm aware of is their kit sponsorship, but some form of sponsorship. I would like to do a drive where we get whatever it is, the 500 quid, and see if we can raise that and just ship it straight over into the club and have the Red Horde as a sponsor of something. And so I want to go over and figure out what that is when I'm over there. I did record the review of the Fearless and Devotion podcast, their 100th, where they had Mr. Williamson. It expressed a bunch of frustration, but I don't know if it's good enough, and if I'm happy with it, to be fair. Anyways, going from right to left on this one, the Stags, going from left to right in the black, Wrexham, the Dragons, and we're underway. I hate that we use the nicknames because I always think that's cheeky. It's so North American to go with the nicknames. shouldn't have done it. But we are underway with Flint over on their moving it over, and it's the Stags with early control before they give it up to Dobson, who's going to spin it the other way. And where is my information? Don't have an out-of-town scoreboard. W&G, I don't know what you're going to do. Soak this one in as there's a battle. Break 2-on-3 down the left-hand side. Oh, nice run. Evans around the corner, crossed over, no angle to shoot at, and Ogonko easily covers that one. And who the heck? Vickers. I was like, who the heck is this guy? And then I look at him. He's 20 years of age. Kalen Vickers. Miscontrolled, not handled well, pushed in the back, and we'll get a free kick out of that one. As that one was a soft one. McLaughlin with the push in the back. Kalen Vickers, professional footballer from Brighton Hove Albion and their academy, getting some time in here with the Stags. Since we've gone up against Mr. Clough's son, it seemed like an idea. What was that? Princess Bride, not Princess Diaries. Princess Bride.
There's a lot of people that want that watch along.
I know it's mad. I mean, we'll do it. It's the channel exists for everybody to do their thing. It'll just come with a big caption. We do Wrexham stuff, but somebody doesn't know anything about Princess Bride. Revan, nice little pass in, crosses there. It's dangerous, misplayed, own goal. Da, 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 da. You scored on yourself. Thank you very much, McDonald, with the great play on that one. As the bullet across from Revan goes across the face of goal, and that was the nicest bit of finish I've seen in a while. Straight with the left foot, McDonald pumps it right into the back of the net. I don't even know what he was trying to do, and I don't think that anybody was going to get to it. I was like, how did that go in? Because there was nobody around who was a threat. Who is like, oh my word. Longman was there. I thought
yes.
I thought it was going to be too far ahead of Longman. That's not true. Longman was going to be there, so McDonald had to play it. But there's your one goal in the mess. Maybe we go 95 minutes and watch this, and it's all boring. But I don't even know how he twisted himself up to be able to get that as flush as he did, pushing it forward. Brendan, do you have thoughts? Because I've laughed too much watching that.
That's atrocious. It's like...
We've all had that nightmare. Yeah, but it's in our dreams. The score is wrong if you put it on the wrong side, Brendan.
I got all excited and gave 2 goals.
Maybe just a little bit of foreshadow. Oh, man. I got it. Early score plus silly high score prediction equals bad game. That's where we're at. Marcus is at the game right now and tuned in. Thank you, Marcus. Sorry about that one. And you have to tell us, is that the Bishop Street stand? And maybe he's reading this and not listening. I don't know. Is that the Bishop Street stand opposite the camera? Okay, Mansfield fans are already leaving. Bop for bolts. Oh, the Wrexham fans are in full voice. Stags fans got to be disappointed with that one. I'm just trying to think, how did you get yourself so twisted up with your feet that he slapped that in perfect?
Yeah, he looked like he forgot for a second that he wasn't trying to score a goal.
I mean, he had to do something. But anyway, so the own goal.
I forgot all about that. We have a couple of Mansfield fans that join us all the time. Marcus is at the game, he just said. And I hate to, I mean, I'm glad we get a goal no matter what way it is, but those are always ugly. Like, you don't root for that.
No, I'm with you.
You don't root for own goals. Those like that had to hurt if you're a Mansfield fan.
And there's the question. Hopefully, you don't get overconfident with this one. Is the back pass there didn't work from Sam over to Andy Cannon, a little bit quick. Wrexham 0 shots with the early lead. And Jeannie, I didn't forget about you. Thank you so much for the £2 contribution. Oh, so where are we here? It's over to McLaughlin. Left footer down the pitch, misses everybody. Ogonko's going to go and grab it, and we'll spin this the other way. Truth be told, this was a match at Mansfield that I was hoping that I was going to be able to make it to this year. I will take Wickham as a decent substitute, I suppose. But I feel like because I had so many chirps last season that I feel like I needed to go and watch this one. A nice little pass forward there, and it's danced back. Vickers, he's been everywhere. This little kid all by himself spun in and got the pass into the area, left it there. This Vickers, that's twice I've noticed Kalen Vickers doing things is the Vickers. Wesley Mansfield, now that's a good question. So now I got to scroll up and find the question. Running the clock down now that they've scored. Just get it out of this. Finish this one. What's our current XP?
Park the bus.
Yeah. Everybody back. Dobson, nice little tackle, pushes it through. Smith takes it nicely, and he's going to lead up to Cannon. Just nicked, but a nice little idea to get that forward. And I'm going to go and have a look at the stats. Our XG is 0.0. I can't trust that statistic.
I think it's funny before the game I had said, I don't care what happens in this game as long as we get the 3 points, right? And now we didn't even score and look good, and we got 3. So
I asked the same question. I don't know. Brendan says in trying to explain what could be the reason, if you wanted to have, if McLean was coming out on the wing for Revan, then you need to have somebody to do corners on that right-hand side. And if you put TOC in, then that means Brunt is out. So is that what it is? Maybe. But yes, right now we're sitting at 0 points, which I've never seen, a 0.0 XG and up a goal. But I guess it's probably not the first time it's happened. Rathbone with it. Left-hand side. Leaves it there for TOC. Is going to push it forward. Revan can't get it. TOC collects, and we're going to get the switch on. Over to the right. No, through the middle. EOC with it. He's got Clueworth. Clueworth says no to him, and it's going to come back to Ollie Rathbone's come all the way to the back, and he's going to run the damn thing forward. 35 yards out, pushes it forward. Longman's there to run onto it, up against the goal line, crosses there. Hitting away by Flint, but it wasn't a confident one. It's collected. It's back into the area. Oh, did that hit the post?
Looked like it went through the net.
I thought, didn't it? Did that hit the post? That just missed. Sam Smith is running forward. I mean, again,
it went off the post.
Did it? It did go off the post.
It did go off the post.
Ollie Rathbone just skims off the post, and it was there for Rodriguez. Oh, it was there for Rodriguez and Smith to potentially get there. Not able to in this poor experienced goaltender Scott Flinders right now. Buzzsaw is what's happening. That cross along went on the own goal was legitimately dangerous. Yes, it was, Ken, and I missed that one, to be completely fair. Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't expecting Elliot Lee, but Marcus with the vote of confidence for Mansfield. Sat here in the chat while at the game is how much we know we aren't winning this game. Is soaking in, and what are the other fans saying this about us? You'll have to let us know if you're talking to other people and what they're saying around you, because we haven't had this pulse on the away side as we have from our friend Marcus, who's been here frequently. So curious about that, if you're able to get that. And hola, Gabalok. But yeah, Elliot Lee is out. Yeah, we've had 2 car wrecks. We've not only have the best. Did you see, Brendan, the commentary that we made, that the club made with respect to facial hair?
No, I didn't see that.
Because the Yankees came back and went back on their policy. For those that don't know, the New York Yankees, George Steinbrenner has had a long-standing tradition that if you're going to play for the Yankees, you have a clean-cut hair, you've got no facial hair, it's not allowed. The Yankees have decided this year that they're going to walk back on their stance. So they posted a big thing. It got millions of views. And as a quote in there, Wrexham AFC saying they're going to allow facial hair and especially want to see more old-timey mustaches. We're not winning this game so far, says John. You're absolutely right. Poor Max and his facial hair band. Yeah. Just him alone. He's not. That's fair. Max was told he's not allowed to change his facial hair. Everybody else is, but Max isn't allowed to grow it out. He has to stay unchanged. But I mean, possession. Is this how this is going to be? It was already raised. You get your one goal early on. And now you're going to sit back. Are we going to have an XG at the end of this game as a 0.00 but win the game? As we sit 2-0. I had no idea too that it was such a pain in the butt because you just sort of do it every day. But now it's nice that I just have to trim it occasionally. As they show the highlight of Ollie's miss there. Well, not miss. Just hit goal. All right. Aiden Flint, right-hand side, advancing forward.
You know, we didn't,
Kilgore,
out of all the things we were just thinking about for Brunt, it just dawned on me. This was where we stole him from, Mansfield.
It was. But we bought him, so it could be.
Like, I don't know, maybe that's part of it too. I don't know.
I've never heard of that going into an agreement where you end up signing a player where you don't have to play them, but you often see it in loan deals where if you loan within the division, you end up saying that player's not going to play with you. We should while out to loan, they're not going to hurt us while they're on loan. We've got an opportunity dropped on the deck. It's there. It's available. Rodriguez still is saved by the center back. And now it's a breakaway the other way. What's going on? That was absolutely nuts. McLaughlin.
All right, now I don't feel bad that it's 0-1.
McLaughlin saves it with his feet on the line from Rodriguez, our Premier League striker, wide open, nobody around him from 12 yards out. As what ended up happening there, so that was Smith ends up running into the player or running into the keeper, and the ball comes loose, and Rodriguez. That's his reaction. Vickers gets in the box.
I would say Rodriguez beat the keeper to the ball. The keeper tried to flop to draw something, which was stupid.
That's true. And so the player Flinders mistimes his run to go and play the ball, so he doesn't get there. Smith gets there first. Flinders takes a flop. Smith gains control, plays it over to Rodriguez, wide open right in front of the net, and he shoots it directly at the feet of McLaughlin, who kick save and a beauty. If you were watching hockey, as Dom said,
that makes up for his own goal.
Well, it wasn't McLaughlin's own goal; it was McDonald. But yes, it makes up for Mansfield's own goal. That's for sure. Face palm, and it's not raining now. Rodriguez. That was his reaction.
Yeah, he has no right to complain to anybody about anything for the next 3 games.
Yeah. And we go back to Marriott. I'm just saying. LOL at goalie flops. Not impressed, Rodriguez. Come on now. Yeah, it's not really the way to endear yourself to the crowd. We don't want Billy Waters yips 2.0, right? Well, that was a Kilgore threw in across there from the right-hand side that was pretty piss poor, to be fair. Goes out and Ogonko was going to collect it. So that was Flinders just knocked it down and then flopped. Smith grabs it and oh my word, he could have gone anywhere from where he was. Like that's just like how 8 yards, 9 yards away. Well, what did you miss, RKO? You missed an own goal that was hilarious and comical, and then you missed a Rodriguez attempted goal from 9 yards out with no keeper in net. and he smashed it off the center back who slid in.
Yeah.
Get it in the air. You know the guy can't hit it. Put it in the air. Oh, there's McLaughlin just dances Cannon, gets it over this Vickers kid. Marcus, if you are listening to me, Kalen Vickers, I know he's 20 and he's probably going to bounce out away on loan, but man, what a draw he's been. He's been by far best player on the pitch for me. He's only sitting at 6.0 though on FOTMAP, but he's been the only person who's been creating things for them. Right-hand side as I say that, and there's a cross going the other way. Wide open, scores! The guy who scored on his own goal, I'm pretty sure that's him. Yes, goes back and scores to make it equal. 1-1. Marcus, who are you? Who are you? We are dross. That was piss poor. Mansfield taking it to us so far. Shots on goal, just so that you're aware. We had that our XG 0.48. Total shots, one big chance, one missed. That was a great cross. And McDonald from the other side, wide open. Cannon's got his fist off. Kluwer's doing his hands up, but he's in the middle of the pitch. Longman's sitting there over in the middle. Nobody picked up a man, to be fair. Kluwer was supposed to pick up the guy in the middle, didn't. Longman was supposed to pick up McDonald, didn't. Oh, Mansfield coming forward. They want to punch us in the mouth, do they? Maris with it. Left-hand side. Vickers dancing. Vickers, he's a little jitterbug. McDonald, cross, far post. Headed away by Rathbone, but not cleared. Not put back into the area. Mansfield thumps it, and it's knocked off by Revan. We've seen this script before. We've seen this script before. Dave Nicholson says, anyone else having a problem with Paramount Plus? What's the tip there again, Brendan, for where we have to search for Wrexham?
Yeah, you have to search for EFL.
So there you go. Search for EFL and hope that that's solving the problem. They should move him up to striker. John says, I'm having a problem with Wrexham. Rim shot. We've got more holes than a hobo sweater. Yep. Deandra, I've seen this film before. She's done this watch along. Doesn't like the ending. Longman collects middle of the pitch and then gives it away. What the frick was that?
At least it wasn't an own goal, but geez, that was awful.
That was. He almost had too much time, you know what I mean, and too much space to start off with. So he let it down, get control, and then you could hear the footprints, the footsteps coming. Change the score then, says Marcus. Brendan.
I'm supposed to change the score? What?
I don't know. Does it say 1-1? I don't know what it says. Uh-oh. And that's their scoring here. Flipped up. Oh, it made me nervous. Do you need Sam Dalby? He's the best in Scotland, only scores for me and you. No, we don't need Sam Dalby because I don't think that he was the guy. I'm not. Vickers grabbing, holding, clutching, grabbing on Cannon. Go the other way. I'll be fair. I like this kid. Oh, nice little pass. Oh, just over top of Sam Smith. I thought that bullet going forward was going to land on for Sam Smith to play onto. Instead, it carried, whether that was wind or otherwise. Why can't they pass through the center and we can only boot it? It's an ongoing theme, isn't it? Pushed forward, and here they come again. They've got numbers. Vickers over on the left-hand side. Falls over, looks for a call. Oh, my word. Oh, he wasn't on live. That's why. Man. Possession, 63%. Shots, 4-1. Hasn't been a great start. to this one other than being helped out by McDonald. Cannon push it forward. Revan there potentially can't get there. Oh, that was another messy play. Both back lines leaving a little bit in it, a little bit to be desired. It's piss poor there from TOC, and it's just a giveaway and a throw in. That was a flop. He backed into searching for contact, found the contact, and hit the deck. But he is quality. I'm not going to say that, but that was a flop. Both can be true. Future Wrexham striker, Callum Vickers, right? We like to take our players from that have had plays in time in Mansfield. So let's go and get him from, I think it's Brighton. We got to go and grab him from.
Yeah, isn't that lawyer in England, Vicar?
No, it's a vicar is it's a religious, like a pastor,
magistrate or something,
isn't it?
I don't know.
I always thought vicar was religious.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, it's a priest or something. Yeah.
Mark is not happy with the refereeing so far. Don't know if it was an exact. I haven't had complaints as of yet.
Pastor, thank you, Giselle.
We are looking pretty poor so far, to be completely frank. Put across, boot it up in the air by Evans. It's going to hit the ground and nobody's going to get their head to it. And then EOC puts it away. TOC thumps it up, but we're just in desperation clearance mode. Is nothing's going, so they'll get a throw in 35 yards out. We're just going to end up eating this for a while. Vickers, it's the same thing, isn't it? A member of the clergy, the Vicar, with a yes, but the spelling is different. Lee signing up as a sponsor. Thank you for that's 11 months for you. Getting into year-long memberships for people. Also, can the Welsh tell me how to pronounce Pontypridd? Ask me if I got it right. I got conflicting info online. And I think it's with the TH in there at the end. Pontypridd? I forget. It's been a while. Cleworth with it, right-hand side. Up to Longman, 18 yards out. Dancing, left-footed. Cross all the way around. Not threatening at all. And easily headed away. Rathbone collects it. This is how maybe this game is going to be. Is the midfield is... once you break it down, you're able to maintain extended possession as Revan dances around his man, 18-yard box, bullet through. It's still there. Cleworth all the way forward, right-footed, bounces free, up in the air. What's going on? Acrobatic, over-the-head kick. Sam Smith trying to get it. So much happened there, but nothing in the back of the net. Crosses are in, balls deflecting, comes out free. Max Cleworth tries to come up and Andy Cannon the damn thing through the back of the net. Pontypridd is the closest way. Priv.
What the fuck was that?
Flint goes forward, gives it away. Cleworth then now with it. Gets it up to Longman, gets a return pass. He's moving forward. There's holes through all of the... Screw the weather. Both teams are going to say, we don't know how to play defense. Longman, I don't know what that cross was. To the moon!
No, but
that was the
Cleworth,
worst.
maybe you got to move him up to the midfield with those passing. I mean, damn.
They're talking about his crosses with the right foot catching the wind going too far, with the left foot getting caught in the wind and getting held up. You got an over the head kick here to try and clear. Hello, little munchkin. You're supposed to go cuddle mama.
That's why I kind of like that play by Cleworth, the extremely hard shot low and let it ping pong around.
Yeah, I hear you. Go black.
Like swimming.
No, it's tied 1-1.
Yes.
Knocked out at the halfway line.
Oh, that is
McDonald still all over.
not worried. That the everyone is not worried.
Yeah, it's not doing it. EOC with it. Searching, gets it across the halfway line. Cannon.
He's winning. Black is winning.
Black is winning. Let's hope they score. Longman with it. He's got Revan on the opposite side. Gets him just outside the area, edge of the area. Revan dancing, looking for a cross. It's in the middle, and it's knocked down by McLaughlin. Yellow. Starting to get at least some positive action here going forward. And thank you. Comment on the nice movement.
Yours melt. Did you drink autumn?
Flinders gonna grab it. Future Vancouver legend on stream. I hope so. I'm gonna have to rub you for some good luck.
Oh, red is winning.
There's no red. Ollie Rathbone with it, puts it forward, chested down by Kilgore. It's going to be Mansfield Town across the halfway line and building forward. McDonald over to Vickers. Vickers gets it back. Clueworth steals it from him. He's going to shield him off, and Vickers grabs his hand and pulls him down. That's twice by Vickers. Do it again. Get a talking to, sir. Revan's delivery has been ugh. I think Longman's has arguably been worse. I'm not religious, but I love etymology. What's doing? Thanks, man. My broadcasting days are numbered with, yes, the future of the channel. I'm going to lose my gig. Well, we've smashed into each other in the midfield, and as a consequence, Vickers has collected it and going forward. You got to be quiet a little bit and just watch. Yeah. Okay. Throw in McDonald. And that's not old McDonald's, the foods. Our wingbacks have been awful. But I will say this. There's at least some positivity in the last, 5 to 7 minutes. Like, it seems to be one of those games that it's just going to be taking turns with pressure. Thrown into the box, Mansfield, get it back, giveaway. Referee got in the way of Rodriguez, but he's able to go and collect it and spin it the other way. Right foot to try and clear, get it up to Smith. Not able, and Kilgore clears it the other way through Flint. Long ball pumped forward. Nice tackle. Nothing given as Evans is laying on the deck there. Revan, bad pass, doesn't make it through, but able to collect and gets it to TOC left-hand side. Let's do a thing.
I'll go tell me egg. Oh,
so Ken says Wrexham attacking through the wings rather than the middle. It leaves a gap in the middle that Mansfield Town is coming through. I don't think that's true, though, because the players are still in the middle looking for the ball to come through. We just don't build up through the middle. Is this? I think it's just a continuing thread, Al. I hate to say it, but like I just don't think that Wrexham's on form and has been off for a while. I can't hold this monster truck. Why don't you go snuggle up to Mama and see if she can put on some pepper?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Ow.
Careful. Don't trip over that.
Ow.
Wrexham's strategy of defending their own goal has not been fruitful. Go and figure. Close the door, please. I am. I'm glad that you guys are all good with that. There'd be a lot of people be like, oh, I came here for a professional channel and I'm getting this kid that's shown up. But that's the joy of doing these as early as I do, as they wake up and mom's still in bed. Wrexham, not able to maintain possession, give it away over to the right-hand side, and they're going to build up through Reed. Drawing it back, Kilgore goes back to Flint. McLaughlin now across the halfway line. That's got to be McDonald. Draws it back. it'll go back to Flinders and they'll reset it up. There seems to be a problem that's spreading through the team. I am, of course, talking about the man buns. I don't think that our female viewership would disagree as Cannon earned a free kick. I'm trying to see why are they objecting to this one? I think they're objecting because there's been similar contact, but for me, it was Reed got him a little higher than the other ones. He got him right above the knee. So like the shoulder charges and the physical contact is one thing, but you drive through somebody's leg, that's a different. We got help, and that's where I'm at. Is there's help was given yesterday. We need the 3 points. March this damn thing forward and get back on track. Right now, 30 minutes in, and it's kind of been. We're in it. Yeah, the Mullen chant. You know what? Play them. Play them. That's what I say. If they're going to have a shot at him, play them. Give them a chance to shut him up. Wow, that was a horrible. Ball comes down.
Way out. But,
thinks he's a scorer, and he has been recently, so he puts his right foot through it, and it ends up, man, how many yards?
If he put the bend on it he did on the last one, he hit the post, can go for it. Go ahead.
Oh, I must have taken my headset out because you shouldn't be going through my head.
There you are. Technically, it's 2-0 Mansfield. Yes, Brent. If I was after a professional channel, I'd bounce a year ago. Thank God, because I can only do what I can do. But the reality is I'm hoping that's the kid that enjoys football. Like he'll sit and cheer for stuff and watch baseball on TV and soccer and all sorts of stuff. Football, soccer for him, and likes to go out and play. And he's going to be playing in the summer for the local club, their U4 division. But the eldest, he has no interest in the football thing. Oh, M's all over the etymology. When I realized that vicar means substitute or stand-in, vicarious finally made sense. Okay, there's an interesting shout from Ben. If you're to go with kind of a 2-1, you'd have to go with. You're going to have to pull from the wing. So I guess you're going like a 4-4-1-2. 4-4-3, but just modifying the front. But anyways, having Smith and Merritt up front, big and little with Mullen behind. And there's a push on the ground and Cannon gets a foul. The crowd is really on the referee, which I find to be odd. I mean, and here Cannon's disappointed. He's been consistent. The physical contact and colliding into chests is fine. That one was a little bit over. But he hasn't allowed anything to go through the feet. Rathbone with the 40-yard field goal. It's good. We're up 4-1. Cleworth, well done. Through the air, just easily takes that one out, and it's over with Longman, who's going to play forward to Dobson. We can play through the middle of the pitch. There's some passing. TOC.
Yeah, passing to get over to one wing or the other, not stay in the middle.
Fair. Sarah from Blackpool looking for a 3-1 win. It'd be generous given where we're at as Cleworth draws it all the way back to Ogonko and it spins towards goal. Dave says, I'm telling you, this is my support group, a safe space for each of us to just appreciate each other and get ourselves through the good times and bad. I'm Dave, and I have addiction to Wrexham. The first step is admitting it. The first step is always
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. There it is from RKO too. Our new strikers aren't getting any service. And so, Al, where's the holdup? Because to me, it's getting it through the midfield. Once we get up forward, I'm fine with the play. And here's another opportunity. Good ball in. Rathbone, 18-yard box, cross, long man, and he can't get to it in time.
Poop.
He's got to do better there.
I don't know if he could have. It was coming in with some steam. I was asking a lot of Longman. Was this entry from Rathbone?
A hell of a
flat
pass,
bullet. That was a bullet, and Longman got there and just couldn't get up there in time. In basketball terms, the squad needs a ball-handling point guard that can single-handedly break the press via dribbling. Sure. Or at least a couple of guards that are able to break press and maintain possession across the midfield of the across half court, right? Right now, we're getting no entry. It's just turnovers at half court, and Cannon might be hurt. He got tangled up with Reed. It's up in the air, and Max is going to go and play it and just knock it out. Oh, and it's going to go out for a corner instead. And here comes Cannon. I think he's...
He's coming out. He's
coming out.
Legit pain.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in a world of pain. He just got twisted up in the challenge and went down. I don't think there was anything malicious in it. Was it a physical challenge? Yes. Was it something that we've seen all game? Yes. Have there been fouls for it? No. He just ended up into a precarious position and didn't go down. Mullen as a cam. No, it doesn't look good. I mean, I think that we're talking about Parkinson here. This is James is coming in. I can't see it being anything else. So, Bryn, here's the other news. While they're bringing the stretcher out for Cannon, and he's got oxygen on as well.
Yeah, he looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Oh, they haven't shown the replay, or at least I haven't seen it. Flint's walking away with a grimace. They tried to read his lips there to see what he was saying it was.
They had his arm up in a strange way. Did this shoulder get yanked out, or a rib injury, or what?
No, but if it's, it could be a rib. I don't think it'd be shoulder, right? Shoulder, you just get up and walk off the pitch.
I've seen some people.
I thought it was knee.
Dislocated, really struggle with the pain.
McLean has a hip injury. Okay. So I'm going to also have to try and find a way to get out to Wales in early September. Surprisingly, Canada, the men's national team, is going to be playing in Swansea against Wales. There seems to be a connection between the Canadian, both the men's and the women's national team and the Welsh clubs, the Welsh team. So it's too bad it's not in Wrexham, but somebody was saying I think there's something else going on at that point in time. But yeah, it's now I got to get out there. Still waiting on treatment here for Cannon. They haven't shown a replay, which is, it's always one of those things, at least in North America, when they don't show the replay, that means it's worse than it was. I can remember one of the worst replays I ever saw was a Montreal Expos game, if you can remember them, back in, what was that, 1997? And it was on TSN, who don't cover baseball at the time, and I remember that. And I remember that the umpire ended up having a heart attack and passing away on the pitch. And they showed the replay of the incident from about 6 different angles and at least about 15 times while trying to fill the dead air. And they're like, you can see him taking a step forward, lurching forward, falling backwards. Let's take another look at the other angle. Trying to figure out and dissecting what happened, and then found out that the poor guy had passed away on the pitch. And so they don't tend to show things. Put this in your documentary, says Marcus. Not funny. Not funny. And I thought Wrexham had a stand issue. This venue looks like a Brooklyn street match. Well, yeah, it's supposedly been under construction for the last 6 months. But that's what is up. To be fair, it doesn't look like
That's the
anything
scam
down.
in England. Say you're doing something and then drag it out for years.
Yeah. Are the laborers getting paid for it? Well, our fourth stand is being built. Don't you worry. Is that it being built though, or is that it not being knocked down? Because the roof's not on it, and I don't know if that's old or new because it doesn't look new.
Yeah, Lee. My guess was the ribs too.
Yeah, I thought it was knee on the way down, but it's the way they're treating it. Looks like it's ribs. Did he mull in his lungs? I don't know what happened. Prague mess. Easy, Marcus. He's actually this isn't just I'm whinging and moaning. This looks relatively serious.
I'm still going to
It's
say it
Mansfield,
makes
they've
no
only
sense
just
to me
got it
that they leave the clock running. I mean, on an injury time like this, like, why are we even guessing how much extra time there is? It should just be stopped and be.
To me, it's part of the drama that they've accepted into the game is the idea that the referee's sitting there staring at his watch and the fans are all blowing, whistling, doing their thing and not really knowing. I mean, I guess the exchange for that is, and the changeover is, and the thing is you're going to keep on going even if the ball's on your side of the half. Or if you were to look at the clock and look up and see there's only 10 seconds left, do you really take a stab at anything, or do you just let it wind out, let the game die? I suppose. So, reality says, I hate how other teams' fans hate Wrexham just because they've got a bit of money. How do they think Premier League teams get to where they are? Yeah, but there's a stigma that you're supposed to stay in your lane. It's like you're a fan of the club because they struggle. And only if you're there throughout can you support. The biggest thing for me that I'm frustrated with about UK fans and predominantly English fans here, because we're talking about a Welsh club, is the controversy that comes from Wrexham. It ignores the fact that it's largely from turnover. It's almost exclusively from turnover. It's money that the club is generating that's being spent. It's not money from the owners. Now, granted, Rob and Ryan market the hell out of this brilliantly, but there's no credit for that that's given. We're compared to Salford. We're compared to the MK Dons. And that's a horrible analogy.
I expected it was truly because they were Americans. They were American owners, and they were American. Too many American fans. Like,
no, where were you when you were
You haven't earned it. You don't. You know.
Where were you when you were ish? Right. This whole, and Matty James is warming up, and he'll be on as a sub once this all gets taken care of. But it's the where were you when you were ish? Like, you're going to end up selling out, 30, 40, 50,000 to go and watch a fifth tier game. It's just not how it happens. As the rise and fall of clubs sees a rise and fall in attendance, and that's just how it works. But they went through and did a football-led fan peer review that the government did, and it came out with a process that said, look, make revenues matter, limit ownership, equity, and loans to the team. Okay, so they go ahead and they do that. Now they've got a regulator they're talking about doing the exact same thing to try to limit owner spending and increase turnover to make it the club self-sufficient. Wrexham is doing exactly what everybody says should be done. Now that looks like oxygen to me, not that. What do you guys call it in the UK? That green? It's the drug that's the painkiller that you take through the green inhaler thing. But he's yeah, he doesn't look comfortable at all. And here's the other question that I have. If you're going to end up taking somebody like those stretchers, and you got the stretcher bearer with 6 guys carrying it, why can't you just run out the actual stretcher, like on the wheels?
And a Conco does a Conco things.
Not even close. Off.
The wind blew it because it spun off his foot. Just kick the damn ball.
He hit the box. 10 minutes of added time. He hit the box where the players sit. That's how far he missed it off to the right. So Cleworth gets possession. We're back underway in a 1-1 game. Let's try and get one early here as Mansfield gets shot out of the gun early. That's McLaughlin, who's now kicking forward. Cross all the way over to Kilgore into the area, and well tackled and well covered, and away we go. Rodriguez back to Dobson. Matty James, first touch since he's been on. He's just going to let things set up. And this is what I don't like. So now the press is on. We have the obligations to build through the floor or through the air, but everybody's gone so far forward. And they come back. Okay, I'll take it. We came back and we got it. Longman back. It was the ownership of the stadium that caused issues. Well, that's what I was. Lack of capital investment, or lack of investment to maintain capital, I guess, is the issue. That's a nice little ball. The wind takes it. Sam Smith knocks it down. Longman there. Rodriguez there. Chests it down. Smith turn. Can't get to it. He's going to lose it. No, he draws it back. Longman back to Smith. Do a thing. Everybody's back. Park in the bus and they leave it. A bad pass for Cleworth and they leave it. Too much of a challenge for him from Sam Smith. It's going to go for a corner. No women's match today was canceled due to weather. So we will be here for this, and then we will have to update you when we get that one accordingly. That was all blustery, but nobody could control the opportunity. Oh, and it's going to go for a goal kick. I thought that went for a corner. So it was a complete letdown. And get some chances on this Flinders guy. He's 38, and he's played 2 games in the last 2 years. 150 minutes in the last 2 years. Wait, did that actually go out?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that spun on the line and went the other way and the wind held it up. I'd like to see that on the replay just for giggles, but it looked like it didn't go out. It looked like it was destined to go out, and then the flag went up, and then it looked like it spun back in. I don't know if that was a retaliation, but it's a good shout from Allison. Just did a quick rewind and wonders if that cannon tackle was a retaliation against the shove he did on the touchline. Possible. I mean, I don't know. The women were going to make my day after the disappointment of the men. Ye of little faith, sir, although I'm hoping. I'm almost happy that if Mansfield was going to score, see, they did it wrong. They should have left their goal until the second half, because then they just would have sapped the strength out of us and our will to live and taken the game home 2-1. Now that they've scored, man, what was that?
Was the collision with Cannon on the screen? You know, does it show up in iFollow?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna not pay attention to the live game. I want to go back and see.
Oh, nutmeg just danced through him. Oh, wow. So that was Evans nutmegged and then left the ball behind. Now it's all the way back, and this is scrappy and ugly. It's got to be partially weather, but partially neither team being exactly honest. The balls are James going forward. Challenge there. Referee says play on. McLaughlin wanted a foul there. Nothing given. And it's back to Flint, who gets it over to left McLaughlin. A fan ran on the pitch and punched him when we got relegated to the National League. That being the former owner of Mansfield. The passing sucks. The long balls suck. The crosses suck. Across the halfway line comes TOC, pushes it forward, nothing there, so it comes back. It's with Revan now, halfway line. It's going to get switched over to Cleworth. Can we use Lily Jones in the men's match today? EOC, long ball, forward. Smith, is he on? No flag. Interesting. I thought that he was off, but we couldn't see. It was just one of those things where when you the camera goes and catches up with the ball. You see Smith so far forward, you're like, that has to be offside, but no flag on that one, but not able to get control. It's kicked down, and there's the whistle's coming for halfway here. And another throw in. Maris trying to get that one, can't do it. And it goes out. Nothing in this thing. As Brendan's looking at trying to find the injury to Cannon, we're getting closer to the half. And what is a messy no getting? What was that? Pushed in the back, and EOC, it ends up heading it backwards. It gets rescued by TOC, who comes back and just puts it out of play.
No, iFollow's not letting me go back that far.
Oh, okay. Stats say Wrexham is at 81%. Seems more like 50. Really? Well, because we haven't been passing it. We've been hoofing it down the pitch. Mansfield with the last opportunity of the half, and it gets stabbed out there, and they're going to get another throw. We've now gone 6 minutes into the added time. Marcus, if you're not reading and you're just listening, everybody's asking where you may be in the stands. Behind the Wrexham goal, behind the Flinders goal. Flinders all the way through into the 18-yard box. Dangerous, right-footed. Ogonko has to make a save, and then he rebound and has to collect it. Not the most confident stop. Gives up the rebound. So, Brendan, what's your thoughts on that? Ogonko, not a shortstop in a past life.
Look, all he has to do now is misplay a ball by not coming out, then coming out late, and he's got his trifecta.
He's covered his bingo card.
Reoccurring issues.
Revan breaking it down the line, cross into the area, thumped away there by who else? Aiden Flint. You joke, but I've seriously wondered about putting Lily and Rosie up in the men's squad. The pace. Lily, her handball? No handball given. That looked like an awkward. It hit him awkwardly, but and I think it caught his right hand, but referee didn't call it. It wouldn't have been a penalty or anything. Just would have been a free kick over near the corner flag. Her set pieces. If you could sub in for somebody just to take a set piece, I would put Lily on the bench just for that. That Brendan sound should be added to the sound effects. Clip it and keep it. Dobson gets it back. Clueworth halfway line. Yes. And that's her second. She's good for one a year, right? Clueworth, 2 minutes to the half, up to Dobson. He's running across, and he's just going to draw it back to EOC. We just can't get it across and through. I'll just have a nap here. And it's all the way back to Ogonko. Minute and a half left. There's time is on your hand here. Is in your favor here. And so if you were ever really to just long ball the heck out of it, now would be the time. Is Ogonko would just push it forward into the middle of the pitch, and Mansfield has it, and here they come the other way. Well done by Matty James to come back. Now push the ball. A minute left. You've got nothing to worry about. Gamble. Throw something forward. Longwin gets the replay. Smith gets up off the ground, plays to Dobson. Don't go back. Don't go back. Switch. There's space. Left-hand side. Carry that thing. TOC running forward. Revan, left-hand side. It turns around and goes the wrong way. Clueworth, now he's forward, 35 yards. Longman, 18 yards. Cross coming, far post. Again. Way too heavy. Way too heavy. Where's the curses loudly emoji? Exclamation mark, what, WTF? To my fellow Welshies, anyone getting Gatlin vibes? I won't know what that reference is. There's the whistle. Fuck. Oh, there's my summary of that first half. Brendan, what's yours?
Concerned about Cannon. Hope he's okay because he just really didn't look good coming in off on that stretcher. Yeah, I mean, a lot of opportunities. That was just a crazy, chaotic game so far. I don't know. Hopefully we can turn it around, settle down. We look all over the place.
Stephen Reed says Longman needs to be subbed off immediately. Worst player by a mile. Yeah, he hasn't looked good. Interestingly enough, on FOTMob, that's Rodriguez, but that's probably largely because of that miss. Like, oh, that one's going to come back and stare us in the face. If you were to ever look back on this season and be like, where did we lose points and what caused us to not do what we could have done? Where could we have benefited from things? And yes, I get that it butterfly effect and all that sort of stuff. But you look at the Charlton Athletic game. This game could end where we finish it and we look back and we say, well, what about Rodriguez? People are screaming for subs at the half. Barney coming in for Longman. I mean, you've got nobody left as a sub then through the midfield, unless you're going to put Mullen, Fletcher, or Marriott into the midfield, which some people would love to see. I would like to see. I think Mansfield has written our Hollywood movie for us for this one, and that is, let's have a no-nothing game, and they start singing about Mullen sort of in jest. So put him in, and give him an opportunity to shut him up. And so Rodriguez off, Longman off. I'm off to look up the word insipid. Fletcher and Marriott then at 70 minutes and at 70 Mullen. Yeah, we could do that if it's. And do we go for the 3 points and a 4-3-3 on this one and treat it as though this is a must-win game? Too early in the season for that, maybe, but I don't know. Let's have a look at the stats here. Wow, it went 54% possession for us. Because it was the other way entirely. So that's surprising and not the sense of how I think this game is going, especially when you consider you look at the total shots and the shots on target. It's 3-1 are the shots on target in favor of Mansfield. Big chances. I mean, we're going to talk about that Rodriguez one all the way through. 4 shots, 1 on target. That was his. It was a big chance. It was missed. Accurate passes. We're almost at our season average for passes. We're like 40 off. And at 84% passing, am I drunk? Have I been missing and watching the same game? Because this one hasn't looked good at all. So let's go to touches in the box. 13-10. So not as egregious as I thought. It smells a lot worse than it is, maybe. Are we just – the stats aren't statting, says Stephen. Maybe reality is we just aren't as good as we think we should be. And maybe there's something to that. Is that true? I mean, we always said we were bang average and we ended up eking out the wins. The difference is the efficiency. We haven't been as efficient as we've been early in the season. We haven't had the goalkeeping we've had as we had early in the season. I mean, 84%, 84.6%. We're never going to be able to hold on to that. But I think the drop-off has been more substantial than I expected it.
Well, so a couple things. We didn't talk about, again, Rathbone was really, really good. That shot off the post was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't think he had a chance at that, almost put it in. Then he made that great cross that Longman couldn't get to. And he's all over the place down at the other end. So,
well, I mean, if you have a look at it, I know it was an own goal there by McDonald and by Mansfield, but I think Longman, I did say this, but then I flash back to his other left-footed attempt at goal that was a little bit wide. Mind you, it was a bullet from Rathbone. But it's quite possible that we could look at this game and legitimately say this game should be 3-1. Right?
Yeah.
And if it was 3-1, we'd be sitting here laughing. Our XG is only 0.67, and 0.48 of that is that single attempt by Rodriguez that missed it. But you've got that, and you've got the Rathbone that, to me, were legit opportunities. It could be 3-1, but as it sits, it's 1-1. Has Mansfield missed anything agree, like that was clearly there for them. I think we've had the better opportunity. So maybe there's that, and maybe we use that as hope. But here's the biggest hope. When we had the Leyton Orient game, we went into the half and we thought we've got this in control. Even though it was 1-1, we're going to be fine because we've looked so much better than the other squad. And I think that they came in with it. I think Parky's message likely was, keep playing your own game, lads. Do what you need to do. A little bit better here, a little bit better there, and we'll be all right. We'll win this out. I think he's probably in at the half on this one, ripping the paint off the walls. And so sorry, just listening for, I hear Kid Whalen, just wanted to make sure that there was a parental presence. But team building, as Sci-Fi J, it may be ripping the paint off the walls. Brendan, what do you think that we need at half, if anything? Are we doing subs? Is it just a paint strip? Are we dealing with just 65th minute subs? What do you think?
I think that Parky's in there exercising his vocal cords and giving them the what's what, and stop yelling and pointing at each other and just get it done. Every F-bomb in the thing, and I think they're going to come out and play a lot harder at the beginning of the second half and put one up and then another one by the subs. So I like that 3-1 score that was said earlier.
We were served up an opportunity by the rest of the league. Like the league has built us the platter and said, just walk to the buffet and eat. You don't even have to walk to the buffet. We're going to give you the platter. Eat it. And it's been tepid was the word that was used, wasn't it? Insipid. I said tepid. So I don't know. The problem is Parky left too late to try and gel players together. Yeah, maybe. Is it that we've got the players in and they're still getting used to things? I don't think that I don't know. I think this is part of it. Is Will.i.am hitting the nail on the head. This Wrexham long ball champions give us the trophy. Is why can't we build through the deck? I don't get it.
They don't even try though. Like, you know, I remember earlier in the season, Dobson would take the ball, would never look forward. He'd only look backward. And typically they immediately look up far side. Like they immediately want to cross and get the defense shifting, and then, which is fine, but they just don't shift back and attack from the middle. They just slice in every time from there. So
I was just watching the highlight here, the Max Kluwerth goal, and unfortunate there, that arguably should have found the back of the net. So this is from 17 yards out. Kluwerth comes up and right foots it, and it just misses a Mansfield player and then hits the back ankle of Aiden Flint and goes wide. Half an inch, a quarter of an inch to the left, and that's deflecting off of him and into the net.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so yeah, it's been unfortunate and horrible, and we're sitting there at a 1-1 score where we haven't been looking that great, but we've still had chances. Took time already. Whew, I haven't put the toque on at halftime. Am I that desperate?
no, I think we're fine.
It's in reserve. Is it in reserve? Yes, it's in the wrong drawer. Oh, and I haven't made the pitch. There's actually a Google review from the people who did receive the work they had done by Ultimate Promotions and the Red Horde, and I tweeted about that. But if you are enjoying this all ad-free, that's due to our sponsors, Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. They've got your pins, lapel pins, whether they be the soft enamel, the hard enamel, the whatever you want, they've got it. They've got the badges, they've got medals if you're looking for challenge medals and other things. You got to go wake up mama. Ultimatepromotions.com, Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. Go and check them out. Free artwork, 48 years of service, free shipping. Go find mama and set it all up, please, bud. Or go get your blanket and cuddle up with me. whatever it is, go and check out our sponsors. The other things you can do, like button down below. If you're over watching on Twitter or you're watching on Twitch, come over to youtube.com at the Red Horde and stay here. And if you haven't gone to TikTok at the Red Horde, going over there and giving it a bump would be welcome, as I sure would like to be able to stream over there. See, everybody said, Woody says 3-1 for Mansfield.
Well, Woody always does that. He's trying to reverse jinxes.
I should do, when I come back, I'm going to make these available. I'm going to take a bunch of them to Wales, but I will hold back a bundle of them. And for those of you that are the regulars, I'll get your addresses and we'll figure out how to get that. How much does the wife hate this? You know what? She doesn't hate it. Let's be honest. This is the perfect blackmail situation. Oh, you want to wake up in the morning and leave me with the kids, do you? That's fine. I'm going to fill in the blank. And so it works. It makes the marriage happy because I'll be like, yeah, that's fine. Go and do whatever you want. So she has to go and do that. So she was out with the girls yesterday for about 8 hours.
Good for her.
Yeah. And what do I get? Is I get to do this free and clear. So it works. It works. I don't know why or how, but it works. It's relationship building. It's chip building. It does. It sounds horrible. This is a great way for us to come up with excuses that we can be apart from each other. No, that sounds horrible.
So do you head out later tonight?
Do I head out?
Yeah. When do you head to England?
Oh, Tuesday. So I fly out Tuesdays in the afternoon, 4:00 on a red-eye flight, direct. And so we'll land in Heathrow. It'll be Wednesday at 10 in the morning. So when you guys start to stream, oh, not 10 in the morning, because it'll be a night game. I didn't adjust for the time, so I might actually be up in Donnie by the time that game goes, because that's going to be a Tuesday night game or a Wednesday night game. Wonder if I could get to Wrexham straight off the plane and I'd get murdered. That one's too much of an ask. So it'll be I arrive 10:10 local time. I'll be taking the we're not going to take the train. We're going to take a car up. And then we will be set up in Donnie, and I will immediately spin out. I think I'm going to head to Wrexham on the 28th and stay there for the early morning game on the 1st, and then head back on the 2nd because I want to adjust for a hangover. And then I'll be spinning it back right away and going to Huddersfield on the Tuesday. And I've had people, thank you, Al, for everything, but I've got Huddersfield ticket options. I won't be able to do Rotherham, although I really, 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 really want to, and I tried again yesterday. But there's like an event with all of her friends on the weekend, and she's like, "You can't. You just can't." And to be full credit to her, she was like, "It is nighttime. Maybe you could get back." No, you can't. So we're trying, but and then the Reading game, not going to go down to that one. Then I'll be doing the Wickham one, so it'll be 3 of the matches I will be there for. One of the matches I think I'm going to be able to watch on something, and then one will be the 3 p.m. blackout, and I'll just be relying on them. So yeah, I'm just excited to be able to walk around Wrexham, just go and say hi to a bunch of people that I know. It's been nice to get some messages from everybody to kind of get lay of the land. I'm looking forward to bringing the camera out. Now the hard part is I'm going to be, I am going to be training it in, so I'll be able to track the train. It won't be the London up, but it'll be the Yorkshire over to Manchester and down, I'm sure. And so I'm planning to take lots of pictures. I'm planning to take lots of videos. I'm hoping to go live, because I'm just going to probably have like one graphic on my phone that says we're live, Red Horde on tour sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And so just stay tuned. Hit the notification button down below, maybe. If you haven't done that, because then when videos come on, you'll get a notice that, hey, I've gone live, because it's probably just going to happen like that, where it's just going to be, I'm doing my thing.
Well, they're back out on the field.
It's an idea to order some custom trainers from Trainer Revival. That would be it. I also want to get one of those gray hoodies or warm-up things that they use, because I'm a fan of those, but we'll see. Am I going to make a mini documentary for us? I don't know if it'll be that much, but yes. And I'll be with not at 12 noon because it's an early start. So what time is it for the early starts? Because the St. David's game, I imagine it's because of alcohol consumption expected on during St. David's Day that they're backing that up. That's an early morning start. That's going to be a 7 Eastern time start for Brandon on Saturday. It's going to be 12:30 local. I'm going to be at Wrexham. I'm going to be at Huddersfield. I'm going to be both Wrexham, Bolton, Huddersfield, and Wickham are the 3 games I have. And if I can sneak in Rotherham in Wrexham, I will go to it. But I'm almost certain not to do Reading. So 3 of them for sure. Rotherham's a maybe, and we'll see where we're at. Rodriguez is on it. We're going to be going from left to right. Or sorry, we're going from right to left on your computer monitor. Mansfield from left to right. I'm wearing my gray and gold zip up right now. Rub it in, why don't you? Okay, let's do the damn thing. Thump down. Nothing in it. It's going to go the other way. Ball dies. Matty James able to get an extra possession. Bangs it off of a player. It's going to go for a throw-in, and Revan's going to grab it. Let's get some excitement, some buzz. Let's do some things. Maybe I can channel it as Revan along the line. 4 yards. It gets stabbed out. And so we'll get another throw-in again, this time from 5-6 yards away from the line. If I scream loudly... Yeah, so I'll be up early in the morning then to see if I can get Paul Mullen to sign a pajama top. That sounds really weird. We gain possession there. TOC and Rathbone eking out an extra one, and it's now TOC down to Revan, looking to overlap with him, and Revan's just going to give the ball away, but then it's left behind. Revan, can he get the cross in? Nobody there. Put forward an easy collection by Flinders. Nobody up there. Just the angle of the ball that was never going to get to somebody. Stop mucking around. Well, why does everybody got to stop it? The gray gold zip up too. McDonald got substituted.
Yeah, I did see a sub. I wasn't sure who it was.
Thou shall not score for both teams. So not on my FOTMOB as of yet, but thank you for that, W&G. TOC to Revan. The switch. We're really trying to increase our passes per match as EOC gets it forward to Matty James. Up to Cleworth. Halfway line. Into Dobson. Back to Cleworth. Don't switch it again. No. I'll be here for when we move it forward. Oh, yeah, we'll get a throw in. What are we, 35 yards out here? At some point, I'll be able to go to Wrexham during the season. That would be, do it. Do it. And I did say, and surprisingly I got the right answer. And hi, Alex, how are you? I did say, I want to go over in early September for the Canada game. And she was like, yeah. I was like, sweet. Sneak in a Wrexham game or 2. Sneak in a Canadian men's national team game against Wales. I'd have to sit in the away section, though, would I? International football game and a rival. Rathbone with it. Dancing over the other side, right-hand side. Cleworth moving forward up to Longman. Can he do a thing? 18 yards, dancing, looking for his left foot. Plays it off. Dobson chips forward to Longman and not too far. And it's going to get cleared easily there by Reed. No, I'm not invading the pitch. I am not invading the pitch. Knocked down Revan. I was knocked down, but behind him there is that by Smith. Smith clapping, trying to get everybody going. There's a little bit more fire in this one. They won't put that in the documentary because then it encourages that sort of behavior. I'm going to dress up like a daffodil. That's about as crazy as it gets. Dobson with it. Interception stolen. And then the pass. Can't get to Sam Smith over to the left-hand side. Ah! A neutral fan zone for that match? I was going to say, I can sit with the Welsh folks for that one. It's an exhibition match, right? I can't... An international exhibition game against Canada, like we're the politest that are out there. Wales, pretty damn close. We've got so many connections. Surely I can sit with my Welsh friends and they're not going to beat me up during that one. Rodriguez got his head to that one, got it to Smith, and then just squeezed out. And it gets down to Flinders. We're moving things forward. Do I need to clear that person, or did you take care of it?
I took care of it. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh.
I thought I did. He just came in under another count.
Awesome. And willing to subscribe. Maybe I have to. It's the first time we've had to deal with this. I'll jump onto it as well. I need to learn the anthem first, and then I'd be welcome. Okay, I'm all for it. Hi, Brian. How are you? In from Wrexham. Impressive because they're signing up to subscribe. Just one goal. That's all we need, Angel. One goal. We're 5 minutes in. And to be fair, we've been sniffing in a lot more in and around the box and trying to find stuff than we were in the last half. Like I'm happy that we've been able to break things down through the middle as here we go with a long ball looking for Smith. Kilgore, and it's going to get knocked out for a throw-in as it almost went for a corner. I must be doing well if I'm getting spammed. Yay, success! Maybe Canada can play Cardiff at hockey at the same time. Though don't get me to talk about hockey, because I will talk about hockey after that Four Nations series. That was a lot of fun, also a lot of nightmares. But now we just wait for the best on best. Olympics will be the next time we get to face it. There will be best on best. A game where we barely talk about the game is not what I expected. Revan bounced around three people, got fouled, and it's going to be 18 yards out, 5 yards from the sideline, and that has to be the sub. Bowery he was just giving him a snuggle. That was all it was. It was just a cuddle. Charles, how are ya? All right, Rathbone, right-footed. I call it an in-swinger, I guess. It'll be coming towards the area. It's up. It's served. Near post. I don't like those near posts when there's nobody else there, but it's left. Dobson trying to chip it in. Oh, we got woodwork. Right-footed. Bounced off the top of the woodwork, and we'll take a throw-in from the other side. Poop. The fans are all over it. Nice little dance forward, and the pass is a little too heavy. Can it get saved? It can't. And the sweep play is there, and it's going to go as a goal kick.
That's two woodworks. So.
Oh, Climax! When you see that on the replay, it's so wide open, and he just lifted that up and hit the crossbar. James, interception, nicked again by Rathbone. See, now we're doing what we did in the first half of the last game, where it's interception, nicking the ball, opportunities and possession that come from it. Well done by Sam to go and keep that in. And it's now punched down the length of the field. Mansfield seems scrambly at the moment. That's Bowery who's going to go on a long run. He's going to play through the middle, but too heavy, and we're going to nick the ball again. See, this is what we saw before. When we are on now, this is the team that we expect, where we're stealing possession. As TOC knocks that one down at the halfway line, and it goes out, and they're going to earn a throw. But we're problem. Slovakia? What results? Kilgore probably should have left him alone, to be fair, as that was just going to go out anyway, but Kilgore didn't make contact with him, and it goes out, and now they've called that, and it's going to be a free kick halfway line. This is the team we are when we're on. We cause problems defensively, and we end up stealing possession, and that's how come we keep pushing forward. The downside to that is when we're off and we're not taking possession, we look like absolute garbage. TOC, halfway line. Rodriguez tries to get it through Smith to a header, but it's not there, and it's collected by Kilgore and will be pumped down. Yeah, but it wasn't best on best. Like, that's the thing, is the Olympics and the World Hockey Championships don't mean anything because they play it at the time when all of the other leagues are running. And so while Russia shut down and they sent out their best players, North America didn't. We had to send, like, it wasn't even our C squad. It was like literally our like amateur B squad. Nice pass forward, Smith. He gets tripped up, and that's going to be a card too. Has to be a card. Oshilaya is complaining about that one, but we've got the run. We played it quick, and the referee says, no, come back. I want to do the booking. Marcus, that's a foul every day of the week. Every day of the week. Not a red. It's not a red. And he should have got it for, if he could have arguably got 2 yellow there, one for the disdain hand on his face. Look, he sweeps his leg. Both legs. He left foots him into one leg and sweeps out the other with the right. Like, that's not a tackle. There was no ball contact. That was as clear a foul. And that as a yellow, followed by his reaction afterwards. If he really wanted to be a dick, the referee could have just sent him off and said, go and have a shower. Not that I'm advocating that. I don't think it would have been the right call. But, I mean, the whole hand on the head, diving his face into the ground because he committed a foul and got called for it. We're not getting results for our money. That's also true. Kluwerth dances around, space, open, into the area. Rodriguez heels it, and it doesn't go anywhere. We're going to get a throw in 20 yards over our right-hand side. I love the fact that Revan went to go and grab that early to play it fast.
That's about all he's done today, though.
Fair. Collected the ball quickly. He's got it now, and they lost the challenge to Bowery, and it's going to come back. Rathbone switch on. EOC will keep an eye on that. There's not enough contact in field hockey to make it worth our effort. James, nice little save. Got it to Rodriguez. Leaves it for Rathbone. Can't get there. Bowery frees it up. Rodriguez chip over to Revan. Can't knock it down. Does knock it down. Bowery's there. Stabs it out. Throw in left-hand side. Oh, don't spoil it. Spoilers, Marcus. All right. Well, I'm happy, but now that we know the spoilers here, let's call it out. We know it's coming. This is for the gram. Revan with it over in the corner, dancing around, left-footed. It's right there, knocks forward. Somebody smash that. Max Kluwerth, left-hand side. Future captain Max Kluwerth slams that in there. And we got ourselves a goal. And an amazing highlight. No, Marcus, you are fine. You are a friend of the channel. You've been there for a while. I ain't going to hate on you. And besides, it's feel-good time as we go up 2-1. DeAndre says, honestly, Marcus, I like those spoilers. It's the one that go the other way. I had no idea, too. The nice thing about that one is it wasn't in the build-up. You're like, how is this going to happen? We know it's going to happen. And so thrown into Rathbone. Rathbone just drops it back to Revan. Left-footed up over into the air. And it's knocked down, stabbed at. Dobson leaves it there for Kluwerth, who just puts his foot through it and scores it up.
Max felt guilty about that one.
Why would you say that?
He just ran up there like this is too easy.
Like. To be fair, in all of the rain and the deluge, Noah's Ark, the Red Sea has parted, and Max Kluwerth runs up there and just slams that. The Yellow Sea.
Like, thank you, I guess.
Thank you. I'll go get there. Top scorer, I think he is actually. Dang good. Definitely not ahead of you. Yes, we are definitely not ahead of Marcus. Let that man grow a beard. That should be the call from David Wood. Max Kluwerth, the only player on the team not allowed to grow facial hair, thanks to the owners. Old-timey mustache is preferred for everybody else, but Max Kluwerth explicitly banned from growing facial hair. He comes out and says, don't forget about me. Oh, we need a video of that, Snowboard. My husky goes crazy when Wrexham scores. Is that because you're screaming in the house, jumping up and down? Is that because he can hear me doing the thing? Because if that's the case, I'm just going to start screaming scores just to trigger the husky. So many would have kicked field goals with that. And there's truth to that. And Brendan would have been screaming to the heavens. But Deandra's taking her hook off. The referee is a Mansfield fan. Really? What call am I missing? That I know that I could hear the disgruntled Wrexham fans in the headset, and Marcus is clearly disgruntled. But what call was not the right call? We've earned this in the second half. The first half, we were garbage. This one, we've earned this.
We've had much better chances. 2 woodwork, that block by the non-goalie.
The Aiden Flint sort of accidental reverse heel flick away from the net.
That's those chances, that number of really, really, really good chances that didn't score goals. We haven't had that many in how many games combined, you know?
Yeah, you know how excited I can hear We Are Wrexham FC bellowing in the background. You know how excited I am that I get to be in the mob singing that out, either in Wrexham or in Huddersfield or both. I mean, and I did buy my seat. I don't know for the Huddersfield one. I will be right behind goal, about 7 or 8 rows up.
Nice.
If I keep that seat, I don't know. I may be swapping to sit with other people who know who I am, but that's where I'm at. It's in the area again, that time by Revan looking for Smith, but couldn't get it. Headed back and forth. Mansfield get control. No, Dobson says, me, please. And Rodriguez looking for the catch, the keeper out, not able to. John.
I don't think he was trying to loop it over. I think he was just trying to put it in.
No, he was searching. Yeah, he was.
It's a strong foot considering you just chipped it and not blast away.
Oh. Now it's time for right on schedule with John's shout there. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do is don't go by seat number and join a bunch of friends. I just don't know where. I don't know who my friends are, and I don't know where they're gonna. No, I know I have friends over there. I just don't know what the plan's gonna be. And I like the idea of just showing up and being like, you know what, let's figure this out. I know it's going to be the turf on Friday night, apparently, and I don't object to that. And I want to go check out the Mesguin. I want to go. I want to check it all out. And I also found out that Sainsbury's is only a 10-minute walk away from the race course, and Sainsbury's has Clamato juice. And so I feel it's going to be necessary for me to walk to Sainsbury's and basically like holster up with Clamato juice and just walk around and like drink Wrexham lager with clam and freak people out. That's what I need to do. Just moments ago, we had a throw in from Revan over on the left. Revan ended up throwing it in, collecting it back, cross all the way over. It ended up being freed up by Dobson with a back sort of heel, and then wide open, 18, 19 yards out. Max Kluworth comes dashing through the middle of the pitch. Dashing because he was both dashing as far as.
I do remember saying that I wasn't worried at half. We were going to come out really strong, aggressive. We were going to score, and then we'd get one more when the subs came in and finished 3-1. We're at the 2-1 because they came out strong. They're still playing hard. Subs will put us over for another goal. It's all happening.
Hey, I just realized that I've been clicking away here, and I don't think that the chat's showing up into the screen.
It hasn't been. I've been struggling with getting it to work.
Huh. Interesting. I'm just going to check. The URL's still the same.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to.
I ran into that before, and I couldn't figure it out.
Now it's back up. I didn't do anything. Now it's on.
Oh, all I did on my end was click the top there, but that's fine. Anyways.
That's what did it. I didn't. I wasn't even touching the screen.
So do I have to click that to trigger it? Interesting. Okay, well, if that's it. So Kim says, riddle me this. Why are Wrexham fans louder away at home this season? And I think I don't think it's just a this season thing. I think there's like a call to arms when you're going into somebody else's stadium, right? That you need to bring your voice. And so I think it's just easier to get going with it. At what stage do we start sending Max out to stud? Hey, we do have an academy that's just been they're developing. It's a 7, 10, 15-year plan. You want to extend that to 21, 22 years. Max Kluworth, needs to populate. Is that what we're talking about? God.
Well, the way he's passing and the way he handles the ball at his feet, he could easily move up into that
he can
defensive
play where
midfield spot.
he could move all the way up and be the cam for frick's sakes.
Well, as crazy as it sounds to do that, if Brunt's playing well and Brunt used to play at Clearwood spot, and then you have TOC there while what's his name's out, that gives you maybe more offensive ability. That allows Max to keep pushing forward. He has to pick and choose right now because he's expected to be a defender.
Yeah. Dangerous here for Mansfield. It's put into the area, 20 yards out, kicked over to the left-hand side, right footer, blocked. Was that Matty James went in on that one? Flint able to steal that one. So the informed Bolton squad, they beat Leyton Orient, they beat Shrewsbury 3-2, they beat Crawley Town 4-3, they lost to Reading, and they lost to Charlton. So I don't know if they're necessarily informed. They've been playing better as of late, but they sort of a powder puff schedule as well. I mean, after Charleston, yes, they beat Huddersfield, but then after that, Northampton, Reading, Crawley, Shrewsbury, and then they did the job at home against Leyton Orient. So that's the big one. So we'll see where they go. Did we get a red card when I wasn't looking? Feels like we're a band down. No, this is just this is the standard punch you in the mouth going the other way. Bolton's going to be a better than expected squad, but they're also going in on St. David's Day. Wrexham's going to be wild up for that one. That one's going to be. I think there's going to be, even though it's an afternoon game, there's going to be some injected people with some liquid fire. There's going to be a good mood through a big celebration day. And everyone's going to be happy because I'm there. Right?
Hey, Arthur just put one in bounds.
No. That's how far. That's a spoiler. I'm still that far behind. Is Max our third best striker? Just saying.
Sorry, I couldn't keep it to myself. I was so excited.
So excited. Yeah. I just can't keep it down. All right, here comes Bowery over on the right-hand side. Chip forward, rescue that, please. Somebody. EOC grabs it and thumps it the other way, and it spins out for a throw-in over towards the halfway line. Substitutions are making their way forward. 67th minute, so we're coming in a little bit late. Intensity has dropped there. That's what happens. We always have that. I think every team has it after you get that goal. You kind of like, all right, we've done our job. And now we get to hold on. If it's Took to score, what is it to hold? What do I wear to hold? Subs are coming soon. Left-hand side.
Yeah, we're about 2 minutes from it. So
Flint with it has it. Left-hand side. And there's the pressure on the ball. Well done. It's going to be a free kick our way. Nothing. I thought. Oh,
Evans.
I don't know if that deserved a yellow. Interesting. I mean, Marcus, if you're
Getting
listening,
told he's very naughty.
That was definitely a foul, but Will Evans picking up a yellow card there on that challenge. If we play to hold, we deserve. Oh, and I'm not saying play to hold. It's just that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Kim says Max is probably our second best striker. Algonquin putting one in bounds is now official spoiler category. Indeed. Longman knocks it back. Flinders throws it up to Flint. It was wind assisted. He didn't mean to keep it infield. Clueworth with it, thumps it out. And there's the first time, if Marcus is listening, that I can say I think the official missed one is I think that Evans did take a fairly decent push in the back there on that challenge, and that a foul could have been given. I did not see Rob blowing snot while talking to Wrexham on hot ones. I'm going to have to write that down to make sure that I can get that one in all of its glory. Shalaya moves it forward, left-hand side. Flag for offside. Ooh, I think we were maybe a little bit fortunate on that one, to be fair. One of those ones, McLaughlin all the way forward, and didn't really have the best camera angle to tell where he was. But how do the strikers feel knowing that Max is the leading scorer on the team? I think they're fine because neither of them have played the whole length of time and stuff. They've been interspersed minutes. Marriott with injury, Rodriguez and Sam are new, and really, although he's not the leading scorer for Wrexham because he's only got one goal, Sam Smith has way more goals than Max does. It was on the sixth wing.
John Olsen is saying scarves are the hold.
Sixth wing.
Toques are luck and scarves are hold.
Toques are luck and scarves are holds. Okay. Oh, man. That's because it's over here. I got it then. Goal kick.
Revenue. First minute, where are our subs?
Super Paul Mullen, they're saying, but we got Smith with 12. That's what I said. 12 goals already is not part of his Wrexham account, but certainly goals this season. Up in the air, EOC heads it on, knocks it down to Rodriguez, halfway line, 72nd minute. We're still waiting on subs as Rodriguez gets it left-hand side, and Seb Revan. Not really racing as much as we were earlier. Happy to be in control of the ball. This is brought back down to Revan. We're letting the players come to him. Is he going to give? I had Rathbone moving forward, doesn't get it to him, and Flint steps up and steals the ball back, and here comes Mansfield. A little bit lackadaisical there, and it's now Vickers. Vickers to Reed. Reed over to the left-hand side. That's going to be Lewis, the sub that draws it back to Osiala. We need those subs. 1,246. That is good numbers. Bowery, right-hand side. Right-footed. Bangs off somebody. Gets free. EOC heads it up. Still in the box. Still in the area. Comes down loose. Still somebody hit that. Not them. Damn it. No. Right foot. Saved Ogonko. Wow. Control. I just want a little bit of control. Fletcher and Mullen, because we're not looking for goals, so you want your pit bull in a defensive role, and if Mullen can punish the crowd and shut them up for chanting his name, then go ahead and do it. TOC. Switch over to the right-hand side. Rodriguez stabs it down, gets to Max Cleworth. Goal-scoring legend, Max Cleworth, on a nice little give and go with Longman. He's going to run towards the area. He's got Longman there, leaves it up for him. Cross coming. Far post! Oh, just missing over the head of Rodriguez. Oh, Smith, sorry. Smith was there. He only needed to have about 3 more inches, and that would have been a goal. That was an amazing build-up. And Longman just a little bit high. Oh, almost there. Barnett and Fletcher making their way in. And John says that Fletch sub would have been awesome 90 seconds ago. Yeah, because he would have had that height, right? I'm surprised we're not bringing in Mullen at the same time. I would have brought... Maybe that's just because I'm a cheeky coach, but you're going to sing about my star, who's, yes, he's had a bad season, but I want to get him fired up, and you're going to say his name? I'm giving him a chance. I'm giving him a chance. And Boateng comes on as a sub for the bad guys. Dave Foster says to Deandra, my wife and I love watching you watch the women's matches and are planning a family watch along with our 2 goals when you do the Princess Bride. This is going to have to be a thing. I'm going to have to figure out schedules and how this is going to end up working. I was thinking off season, but there's too much demand for this. And everybody who's not a part of the channel will be like, what the hell?
they can not watch, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm all for it.
The other 40, 50 of us are going to have a hell of a time.
O'Connell steps forward and nicks it, and this is what we do when we're on now. This is the post-January Wrexham are just ball-hawking interception fiends. More than I've seen of any Wrexham squad in the 3 years I've been following, which is new, and I get that, but it's a new added asset. And when we're... Oh, that's a nice little pass forward. Found Fletcher. He's going to hold it up, get it over to Revan. Sam Smith is over on the far right. Revan dancing, trying to take on Bowery. Right-footed now, far post. It's there. And they're Barnett and Smith sort of fighting with it, but Barnett's going to grab it. He's over near the takes the entry, gets it back to Max. Max bangs it off of that Boateng's head. And throw in.
How is that?
I don't know how that happened. I'm sure championship teams are watching Max as we speak. He ain't going nowhere. I mean, millions of quids might make me think the other way are the owners, but another throw in. 15 minutes to guide this one home. Fletcher looking hungry. The chat has picked up. Inconceivable. Fletcher into the area. Knocked backwards the wrong way from Smith, and so it's just chipped over to the keeper instead as Revan and Smith have an opportunity there. Princess Bride demands a pull. What pull? We're doing it. It's just largely going to have to be Deandra and Brendan are going to have to give me their time as to when they want it to fire up. And that's going to catch as many UK folks and North American folks. So it'd probably have to be like a Sunday morning when a game's not on, maybe. Like today would have been good if we had known that it was going to be canceled, but money talks, right, Alex? Money talks. But as a player, I'd love to push this one forward. Anybody got a peanut? I don't know what the reference is for that one. And I'm sure by highlighting that, I might end up regretting it.
Yeah, did you just get tricked into...
Giselle? Is it from Giselle with the PB reference? No. Have fun storming the castle. Yeah, early afternoon West Coast time on a weekend, maybe even evening for the UK. Yeah, it could be. This is Deandra. This is one of those games that I'm wondering, why am I stressing out about a club? An ocean away from me, up the sheep shagging town. But isn't that also another beautiful advert? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I don't want him to go, but isn't that another beautiful advert if he goes? Then our academy, even when it wasn't an EFL academy, is still able to produce exceptional talent like Mr. Max Kluwerth, who just went for 7 digits. Back heel by Barnett trying to get it. That's a great little battle along the sideline. It ends up just being cleared forward, and it's knocked down by Dobson. He's going to run it back into the mob and go back to Kluwerth, back to EOC, who's going to stab it forward, trying to get it up to Smith. Is that going to stay in bounds? Smith goes in, tries to get it back, and it's going to head out for a Mansfield throw-in over on the far side.
Look at this. We're winning, and we still can't stop all of the Princess Bride quotes.
I know, it's all... Why are you putting that out there, Sean? Come back and talk to me, but I mean, it's still a good piece of business. Will it suck? Yes. No, Kluwerth wasn't sold, but could I see a world in which he is? Yes. I don't think it'd be his choice. Now we got space. Up over the right-hand side, playing advantages. That was a nasty tackle. Bring it back. He's going to give a yellow at the end of this. Played advantage. Advantage is over. So once the play ends up dying, he'll come back and give a yellow for that tackle.
That tackle was to get a yellow to stop the play.
Yeah, it was. And so now he's going to come back to the player that committed the yellow, and that's Mr. Aiden Flint. Reports are that Cannon's ankle was stood on with that challenge, and it could be a break. Ugh. No, don't do that. And Chester doesn't have 2 quid to rub together. How are they going to come up with 7 digits? And that's one that you would refuse. They could come up with 10 million quid, and I still think he'd say no.
That's it. Dave was asking how many yellows. I think that's at least the third. I'll check.
Yellow cards.
1, 2, 3 for them.
Yeah. Okay, we got a left-footed in-swinger, I guess. It's coming towards the net. From the right-hand side, the TOC is going to push in from about 30 yards out, just outside goal. It's lifted up and over, and we'll get a corner instead over on the left-hand side. Man, I'll tell you what, when Wrexham is playing excited and or the play is exciting and they're ahead, the chat just jumps up. Like, the chat has been way more active than it has been recently. You keep using that word, and I don't think you know what it means. What?
That's another Princess Bride reference. The inconceivable.
Oh, is that where it's all coming from? Is that where the peanut thing came from? I don't want to say, because I don't want to have to be a part of this, but I don't remember ever watching Princess Bride either. But this is a Deandra thing.
She hasn't seen it either.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch along with her and then be thankful that it's not me on the screen. Travis Herb calling for an Olympico.
Well, no, I want to do one where we have like about 10 people on the screen.
Is this what our new summer is going to be like? Is Saturday mornings we wake up and we watch a film together?
There's a lot of great ones. This is one of them.
I will say this: the greatest movie of all time, and people are going to say, there's going to be people that say they don't even know what it is. The Game, Michael Douglas, Sean Penn, mid-90s. That one.
I mean, it's a really good one to watch. I don't know though. I mean, it's not the constant laughs or surprises kind of thing.
No, that one's not laughs or surprises. That one's like the what the hell is going on type of movie. Anyway,
yeah, it's not a reaction thing to watch together.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on the watch along, but I'm going to be in the chat during the watch along, laughing my way through the video as well. Well done, Smith. Just carrying the thing. McLaughlin goes for a small fall as Smith keeps pushing it forward. He's going to have to stop and get some oxygen as everybody plays it around now. Please put that back in the box. Smith does all that work to run it forward, and then we just serve it all the way back to EOC. And Smith has got to be sitting there being like, what do I have to do to get some service? Fletcher with it. Smith says, give me the ball. And it's back behind him, and so it's back to Fletcher. Fletcher now, he's got Rathbone left-hand side. Can he get there? Cut back. Oh, and he cut it back, but nobody there. And then it's banged up off by Barney. It was all right there. Multiple times over. This game freaks me out. That's how it's going. The Game was a great psychological movie. It's the only movie that I've ever watched where I had absolutely no idea what was going on, and then they catch you off guard with the end, and you're like, what the? And then you're like, oh, so it's that, and then it's another curveball. What the? And it's nutty. That was great by Rathbone to go and eke out that extra possession, get the cutback, brought back, and then it was all there. That would have been some sort of team goal. Instead, it's going to be we'll score in the corner, far post. It's there, punched out, and not. I'll tell you, Flinders has not looked very confident. This might be a different story if Mr. Pym was in that. I don't know. Andrew's natural reactions are like the top 50 list of best emojis. So now we're gonna just sit there and take screenshots of the screen and label all the emotions. McLaughlin coming off as a sub. None for us so far.
Yeah, I would imagine Mullen or someone in the next.
It'll be 88th minute just to help the clock move along.
Yeah.
We haven't had a yellow for time wasting in a long time. Mostly dead. Is that referencing that it's a retirement community?
If you don't understand it, I'm sure it's a it's a Princess Bride reference.
The Red Horde Movie Club all summer long. Join us on Saturdays. Waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning. No. We're just keeping up the momentum is what we're going to end up doing, right? Man, this game has gone, this whole chat's gone sideways. 84th minute. You know it's a feel-good day when we're all doing Princess Bride references.
That's what I said, that 5-0 against Swansea. Haven't beat Swansea in forever. And it was all Princess Bride references. And then we got into Goonies references. And then we got we were just tangenting everywhere.
Bowery, Revan gets forward and gets the block in the air. Is that Parkey screaming for the fans to get into it? I don't think I've seen that. Parkey was stepping forward and giving a diss to the crowd to get them going. It is
really
sloppy,
John Lane's saying he thinks that Revan's done some good stuff today. I have not seen any of that.
Effort's been there. Pace has been there. He had that one
bodied. The second they get up on him, it's over. He can't hold against them.
And they're singing in full voice now that Parkey's wound up the crowd. 5 minutes until we get to see how much added time and a bad pass there and a free throw in for us. Flinders making a whoopsie. We are here to sing her glory, or we are here to sing their glory or its glory. I've heard, I swear, 3 different versions. Rising to promotion. We are here to sing their glory, its glory, her glory. Thoughts in the chat. Do I need a poll? By all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me. Wow, with a little bit of fire in that one. There was, I guess you could read that 2 different ways. A little bit of fire or a little bit of sad disappointment. We need a goal to finish it. I would love that. Marriott coming in. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. I love Marriott, and he's the right decision in any other game, except, I'm sorry, Mansfield shouted out your star, your former star anyways, in Mullen, and you're up 2-1. You put that son of a back into the lineup and you say, earn it. Go and get your chance. And so anyway, Smith is off. Smith had himself a good game. Didn't get a goal, had himself a good game. Marriott comes in, does his thing. Yeah, but I still have heard different outcomes. See our glory. All right. To see our glory. All right. Feel we waited too long for Marriott? Yeah, but he's just the pit bull here for pace and minutes and to add some pressure up front, right? If this would have been a 1-1 game, I would have had some problems. David Wood, you know, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to add slap shot to the list. I mean, we've had enough.
So I have the foil up.
Oh, do you have the foil up?
Yeah.
And if you didn't watch the Four Nations, I mean, Canada beat the U.S. in the final, but watch the game where the U.S. beat Canada. Marriott coming forward, left-hand side, 18-yard box. He's got Fletcher over the other side. Cut back, 20 yards. He's going to hold it up, leave it there for Dobson. Dobson, 25 yards out. Over to Revan. Left-hand side, cross coming, looking for Fletcher. Couldn't get there as that was well defended, and it's going to come off, bounce around, and be cleared here. But Revan stops it, knocks it down. Rathbone collects, gets it back from Rathbone. Revan now to Dobson. Dobson, Revan. Holding it up, pulled down, no call. Interesting. And it's going to go back and get caught up. If you've never watched hockey before, go and find the U.S. win over Canada in the preliminary round and watch the first 9 seconds of that match.
The 3 fights.
The 3 fights. Oh, that's not a foul. That's a dive. Yeah, that's well called. That's a flop. That's a flop. He's still down, but that was a flop. He's milking it. Four Nations face-off was spectacular. We need to do that again in the future. Barnett's still down on the ground and says he's hurt. Maybe he did hurt himself, which would be unfortunate because I think he threw himself to the ground on that one. Cleared away. referee's not blowing it down. He's forcing Barney to get up as we're short a man. Barney's trying to work his way back, apparently. And Rathbone take it out, and it's going to be a yellow card here. That's the fourth one of the game. And the referee's getting an earful for Barney being down. I would be like, I don't get it. Like, is Barney seriously hurt? Did I see that? Did you see that?
It looked like it was a good opportunity to flop, and he kind of went down late, but I did think he might have clipped his ankle. So
they're not showing that as the replay. They're showing the tackle on Rathbone as he aided on the back of the legs and picked up a yellow card there. I'd like to go back to the original one, see why Barney was down.
Only 3 minutes on extra time.
Mia said look clear and obvious for her. 3 added minutes is all that's going to be in this one. Married with the wind sprints for conditioning. Man of the match. Clueworth, Rathbone. I don't know. I guess I could put that poll up. We're going to have a little bit of added time on this one.
Flint just got pushed over by Marriott. You have no reason to complain.
Marriott with the flex.
None. Marriott pushes you over. You should just be embarrassed. You should get a foul called against you for that.
Folks who follow the women's game, the semifinal Butte Energy Cup against Pontypridd is on March 16. And that's after their win against Swansea. They get the semifinal. So that'll be March 16th. I'll have to add that graphic. I'm going to still have to do some. And yes, Dave, smash that. Definitely subscribe. Hit the notification button so that as I'm doing things on my journey, hopping on the plane, getting off the plane, heading up to Donnie, on the train to head over to through Wrexham, plugging my nose as I go through Chester, all that fun stuff. I plan to do little live things and then maybe string them together at some point in time. But I'm probably just going to jump on live and carry it on. Chan, 안녕하세요. 잘 지냈어? 이 게임 진짜 왕창 재밌어요. This game was really interesting. Just saying hi to Chan. Pushed forward, knocked down. It's a minute and a half left. Clear. Boateng grabs it, looking to spin it the other way. Right-hand side, building up. Don't do it. Don't ruin my day. Revan blocks that one. Lewis with the opportunity there. Lewis, long throw in middle, dangerous. Why didn't Ogonko just come out and get that as Lewis grabs it? And Revan, great tackle in the box, nicks that one away. Hold. Goes for a throw in. Mansfield Town putting the pressure on, getting late in the game in this one. Thrown in. 25 yards out, blocked. Defensively, we've been there. Revan, the first one. Rathbone, the second one. It's headed down. Marriott leaves it. Marriott, you should have ran onto the ball and left it there for Dobson, and Dobson didn't get to it, so we've given up possession. Here they come. Cross into the box. EOC chested down, clears it, thumps it through the air right in front of Boateng. Fletcher grabs it. Rathbone with it. Push it forward to Marriott and leave it. He's not on. He had to hold up to stay on side. Yet another undeserved win. That's in this. Hate to rep for Chester, but what a beautiful historic city. I've heard that. Maybe I do get off. 3 points. You can put it in the win column. It was served up on a buffet with all of the help yesterday to help move us up the table. We took care of business. I love me my undeserved wins. Although I disagree with that. That I thought was the first half was garbage. I'm off. See you again, guys. Cheers for the amazing commentary. Thanks, Brian, for joining in. Appreciate that.
So Marcus said undeserved. I mean, who had all the chances? Us. Like, that couldn't have been any more deserved.
54%, 0.98 on the XG to 0.41. Total shots equal 9-9. I guess this is what he could say is they had more shots on target. 4 shots on target to our 2, and we scored on one of the 2 and had 1 given to us. So there is something to say for that. The difference being we hit the woodwork constantly. Did we get 2 or 3 off the woodwork? Hit the woodwork 2. Thanks for joining, Marcus. We appreciate it and love having you in the channel for all that sort of stuff. And super happy that you joined us from. That's the first time we've been joined by an away fan, like the opposing fan
at his stadium.
Like, I think that's awesome. And Marcus, big shout out to you. It's been
pretty
fun.
Big of him to sit there and
massively big. So as much as you gave a stick to us, I'll disagree with you, but I'll also say I respect you. And you're gonna cry in a minute. maybe cry in a minute, but yeah, it was super cool. Well done to you. It was a fun day. And I don't want to say this because you've still got lots of games left, but I think unfortunately for Mansfield, and maybe maybe not unfortunately, I think if for Mansfield fans and even for us as Wrexham fans coming up, and I think for Stockport would have been the same way, I think we all would have been happy with consolidation. And sitting at 38 points, you're 6 free, so not entirely out of it, but there's lots of teams in and thereabouts that you guys should be safe this year. So math respect being given out for Marcus, and I agree with all of that. Brendan, I don't think I asked you to summarize the game, did I? I normally do.
I mean, I was expecting that third goal. Kind of surprised we didn't get it. But 2-1's good. Again, we look very dangerous. A lot of opportunities. Wasn't strictly crosses. I was a little worried about, us today without Barney out there crossing it in when Longman didn't look all that fantastic out on the wing to start. But that's the positive thing that I've been seeing, right? That we're somehow getting it done from other places now, where we went through that lull after Marriott went out. We couldn't generate anything other than a Barney cross, and now we're getting all sorts of opportunities that are coming from all over the place. So
yeah,
positive for me.
Man of the match, Cleworth is in there, Rathbone is in there, Smith potentially in there for the hustle and the work and all that sort of stuff. Do we have a fourth? Does Dobson go in? Who would be the fourth? James didn't really. EOC, TOC, Ogonko didn't really get called on. Longman, Cannon went out early. To me, I think it's between those three, Cleworth, Rathbone, and Smith for man of the match. Anybody, do you disagree with that, Brendan?
No.
So I got to hit the X button there to delete that. I'll put that one out there for the option. Yeah, Jason Smith says
Rathbone and Cleworth is what you really need, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. Is just really
you could pick anyone else you want, but they're not winning.
They're not. Well, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. I think Jason's just looking to wind you up there, Brendan. He says Revan for man of the match.
Yeah.
McDonald.
Hey, if everyone else saw something I didn't, great. Like, he didn't get exposed defensively. He did make a couple of decent plays defensively. That's where I'm always worried about him. But he was okay there. So,
yeah.
On the other side, the Longman was a little shaky a few times. It was taking him a long time to get back. He plays very far forward, very much like Barney does, and he wasn't hustling back enough. He was late on that far side, putting a lot of pressure on Max early in the game.
Well, and his crosses, he's been off, like, and not just off with being too heavy. It's been like light with one foot, heavy with the other. It's been bounced around. This was the best that I've seen of Revan play in a while. And the second half, he was there with the hustle. And I agree, probably better. That might speak to the quality of his game previously, as he's struggled, that it's been better. But better than what? And so he has been better, and he was good. He was decent. I don't think he enters into man of the match conversation for me. Fatmob said George. I wrote Cleworth off after that slip against Sheffield United. I said he was too young, too inexperienced. I've never been so wrong about a player in my life. He's simply my favorite player now. And you know what? I remember that the goal against Sheffield United. And for me, the one that I was really miffed about was the Blackpool one, where he gave up on the what was it, the second goal to put Blackpool up 2-1. And he thought that the ball went out, gave up, spun it the other way, and he just looked off for the rest of that game. And I was like, he's damaged.
So he and Brunt, Cleworth and Brunt, when they're aggressive and they push forward, it appears they're unaccounted for, that the midfield lets them run with it as if they're only going to go a couple of feet and then pass. And when they carry it all the way forward like that and become dangerous, or they sneak in there, again, they seem unaccounted for. That's why Max is open so often and he's getting those great shots. And the same thing with Brunt when he drives it forward. I think that they have to, maybe they are aware of what they're doing, but they have to find ways to tell those guys, hey, when you get that ball and someone's not right in front of you, definitely carry that forward, because the opportunities that seems to make happen are really, really good. And the more forward those two guys are, the better.
So we'll see. I mean, obviously, we've got a potential hip injury with McLean. We've got Lee being banged up. We know George Evans is back as a potential replacement. I think most of the strikers are healthy. Ogonko seems to be largely healthy anyways. We'll see what ends up happening. But this was a big game, and I don't want to undersell or oversell my position, but I started with it at the start of the game. If we had have lost this game and looked like we did in the first half throughout, I would be very, very concerned about what was going forward. As it sits, we ended up largely turning out all right. And let me just... You've got that up. I realized I've moved my stuff around, and so I'm kind of all over the place here with my centering. So let's jump on the stats. Excuse me. 54% possession, 0.98 on the expected goals. The total shots, they were ahead 11-9. They had 4 more shots on target. That because we hit the target twice. Otherwise, it'd be 4-4. The big chances, that's the Rodriguez one. Surprising to me, we hit the woodwork twice, and like the Kluwerth one was, I thought, an exceptional opportunity. We had the back heel to the Aiden Flint save where it accidentally hit him on another Kluwerth opportunity. I mean, he had legitimately had an opportunity for a hat trick, did Max. If he hit woodwork with one, and he had just barely clipped into Aiden Flint's heel, and if it would have been a little bit different, it would have been bounced right into the net. So I'm surprised, anyways, that we didn't get more on the big chances, but who cares? Accurate passes 400 at 82%. That is a possession-filled game that we haven't seen at all this season. 260-ish is our average passing, and so we 130 more than that. We broke down a team that let us have the ball, and that's rare for us to do, and another sign of good things. So they've kind of been all over. You look at the XG 0.98, 0.72 of that coming from open play. 0.26 from set play. And then you just go through the numbers. We had more passes in their half, more passes in our half. We had our accurate long balls, 27 of them, only one more than Mansfield, who was pushing out 26 long balls. The stat that I look at probably more than anything else, touches in the opposing box, slightly ahead on there, 24-20. To me, this was a deserved win, 2-1, 3-1. Certainly would have been good either way with those. Deandra's signing off. I'll just go through the chat there. And before everybody goes off, make the Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. If you're looking for pins like this, 48 years of service, Home Depot, KLM, big companies, working with these guys, putting together their pins, their badges, their medals for challenge competitions and sports activities and stuff like that. Check them out, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. Anything that came out of the table or out of the stats, or do we just jump to the table?
Yeah, let's get a table.
The part that we all like looking at, right? I'm going to hit the refresh.
Hell, you do have to wins.
Yes, fair. Given, as we all talked about and repeated, given a lot of good results here, there's the celebration. It's a good day. And you know what? The first half was garbage. I'd love to see 90 minutes, but we've played 60 minutes worth of good football today. And that's better than the 35 minutes of good football we played against Leyton Orient. Gail out there, thank you for that, for showing up and doing all that sort of stuff. The notification button is down there. You should be able to find it. The like button is there. If the notice isn't button doesn't seem to me, maybe it's because I'm looking at my own thing. But check them out because I'm going to be out streaming frequently. And updating things as I'm out and about with the family and heading over to Wrexham and doing those sorts of things. I'd love to do more, but I'll be there for 3 weeks. I'll get to 3 things, and then I'll have to make another trip, hopefully in September. The table. Birmingham gets themselves a draw. They're still sitting there. So at the end of the day, we are now sitting at 32 matches, equal with Wickham, the team that we're chasing, and we are 3 points back. Now, you look at that and say, do we have control of our own destiny? No, because even we have the Wickham game again, that's a true 6-pointer. Even if we win that, we end up equal on points with 14 games left, but we're 7 goals behind on the goal differential. And so we've got work to do because we're going to have to get that extra point from somewhere, even if we do win that game. But as was identified, big game, Saturday, March 1st, we play Bolton, but also happening right after that game. Oh, no, it's at the same time. They're both starting as early matches. So those we'll all be watching those early. Birmingham, Wickham on at the same time as Wrexham, Bolton. Fascinating stuff. So 1 plays 2. We have an opportunity there if Birmingham does what we want them to do, and you've got a visitor. If Birmingham wins out, and I hope that they do win out, we've got a chance to move up into a tie for second place. Stockport losing, that's great. They're now sitting at 57 points. That's 4 points back, and we've got a game in hand. That's an away game in hand, but it's still a game in hand. Huddersfield sitting even on point. They're at 55 points, and we're now 6 points ahead of them. So again, we played poorly for a bit. We've allowed the gap to close. This gives us a little bit of breathing room, but we're only still sitting 14 games out. I'm gonna have to try.
Well, John's saying he doesn't like our chances of the auto promo, right?
I do.
If we basically if Wickham loses to Birmingham next week and we win when we play our league game that equals that, right? Then we're tied except for a goal difference. Mm-hmm. And then we play Wickham. Like we've talked about this before, Wickham head-to-head is the game that might be the deciding factor for the season.
And Wickham, unlike anybody else at the top of the table, you look at the rest of their games. So let's go through this. They've got Birmingham coming up. Then they hit a little bit of a soft patch with Burton and Peterborough, but then that's it. After that, it's pretty much like there's a couple light games, but they've got like I think it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Like they've got us on the 15th. They've got Huddersfield on the 22nd. They have Lincoln City on the 29th. They have Reading on April 5th. They have Stevenage on April 12th. They have Bolton on April 18th. Charlton on April 21st. Leyton Orient on the 26th. And then finish up with Stockport on May 3rd. That is a gauntlet. That is an absolute gauntlet to push through. You compare that to our schedule. And ours isn't the lightest. It's middle of the road. But we've already played Stockport. We've already played Birmingham. We've already played Huddersfield. And so, oh no, we haven't played Stockport the second time. So you go through our lineup. Yes, we've got big match against Bolton on the 1st and Huddersfield on the 4th. I've said this, the early part of March and the middle of March, big games. So it's Bolton and Huddersfield early March. Then we get Rotherham and then we get Reading. Then we have Wickham and Stockport. And then you get Exeter City, Cambridge United, Burton, Wigan Athletic, Bristol Rovers, Blackpool. All of those I'd like to think are manageable. Charlton, which could be a big game, and see where they're at as far as getting into their into the playoffs potentially, and then Lincoln City. So, but don't tell me I'm going to have to root for Stockport at the end of the season. Yeah, maybe. But thanks, Jeannie. I should get that run-in, the run-in graphic, and I know Andy does those sorts of things better than I do, or maybe talk to him and figure it out, because it sure would be nice to get that up and going. What do? We talk about, so no game 9-10. If you're logging in for this one to watch the women's match, it was canceled. So we're going to have to get the makeup time for that. Deandra reporting that the Butte Energy Cup, because for the women, they're in 2 cups. They've got 3 big matches all sort of happening here. They've got this makeup game with Swansea, which was to determine who was going to be in the top 4 and who's going to be in the bottom 4 of the Adran Premier League. Because of the 5-0 win that we had in the quarterfinals, in the Welsh FAW, they've earned a right to play in the semifinals for that one. They've also earned a right to play in the Butte Welsh Energy Cup. That game's going to be on the 16th. So they've got a makeup game for this one with Swansea. They've got the FAW game on the 16th. We don't know when the top 4, bottom 4 of the Premier League is going to the Adrian Premier is going to start. So lots of stuff with the women moving, and stay tuned for how that's going to boil out, but we've got to figure that out. Trouble is Wickham doesn't lose. They get draws. Fine. Get your draws. 18 wins, 10 draws, 4 losses. We just got to grab our points. You get more points for a win, so let's just blast through. Can you imagine if Wickham gets the autos and Luton gets relegated? The manager certainly will be looking like a clown. Leave Wickham, switch places. And I haven't even looked at the championship in a while. It's bad voodoo science, I think, to look at the table ahead of us. Who's on the bottom 3 right now as it sits? Plymouth, Derby, and Luton. 28 points and 5 points back and Cardiff City has a game in hand. What's more shocking, if Luton Town goes down or Cardiff City goes down? Luton. Derby County, they must have fallen off a cliff because they were actually performing not bad. And to sit there, of all the teams that went up, I thought that Derby had the best chances of hanging up there, but that shows me what I know. Portsmouth up in 17th. Interesting. Well, and it looks like so it's Leeds United, Sheffield United up at the top 2, and then 3 Burnley, Sunderland, West Brom, Blackpool all fighting with Coventry and Bristol City up there. So I mean, man, you look at those names and it's just shocking to be able to say like Wrexham could be in that mess. Could be, but lots of work to do. 14 games, but you know what? I have a lot of confidence in this team now, and it's I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. But like if you would have talked to me after last week's game, I felt so disenchanted with the club. But I feel like we're there. I feel like we're there in abouts. And so, look, I'm going to probably sign off because I'm going to take this opportunity to maybe work on some graphic stuff and get everything going in Advantage. And I've got a nanny coming to take care of the boys so that my wife and I can pack and finish packing. We're on a plane on Tuesday. We'll be arriving in the UK on Wednesday. And then I will be in Wrexham. I'm hoping to be there morning of the 28th. I should probably secure my train ticket. Morning of the 28th and come back on the 2nd. And that gives me 2 nights to eat some food, drink some drinks, watch some football, and then spin around and head right over to Huddersfield on Tuesday night for that one. And meet with everybody again, have some away pub fun, and then figure all that sort of stuff out. Enjoy. Thank you to Brendan for taking care of this as I'm away, and enjoy everything. I stay tuned. I'm hoping I can log in from wherever I'm at and follow along like Marcus did, if my phone will carry. And yeah, Jason, and you're following right after me. So good. And we should talk, Jason, about September 9 and see if we can get out there to watch the Canadian men's national team as well as some Wrexham stuff. So, yeah, Brent, call me or send me a message on WhatsApp. I'm going to be around here for the next little bit. So do that. Everybody, thank you so much. Brendan, thank you so much. W&G for the scores, even though he wasn't called into it. He's always there to have our back. The channel is full of so many amazing people who we've gotten to know. If you haven't had a chance to come over and join the club, and just have a blast with this whole Wrexham experience. That's what it's all about. Go ahead and do that. All right, Andy, let's chat. Do you have... Message me on, or I'll get you on the Discord. I'll get you on the Discord because I wanted to chat with you because I'm going to put together a graphic. And so I want to be able to see if I can use your information, kind of make it easier on me. I'm selfish. Let's be honest. I'm selfish. And so you've got amazing work. So I just want to see if I can pillage your wisdom. So let's chat about that. Thank you, everybody. Much fun and happiness. Enjoy your Sunday. And yes, the Canadian women did beat Mexico 2-0. Oh, and the other thing, the U.S.-Canada rivalry may continue after the hockey game. Football, the soccer match, would be March 13th. They're going to end up playing their Nations League Cup competition. We play Mexico in the semis. The U.S. has Panama. Given current status of the clubs, Canada's actually outperforming Mexico quite a bit. I think we're the favorites, and so it should be hopefully a Canada-U.S. final, and then we'll see how that one all boils down. Lots of fun in that rivalry, especially given the times. All right, photo op with Wayne at the turf. Maybe I've got photos with him from his time here, so it only makes sense. And I want to go to the Sainsbury's and walk into the turf with some Clamato juice and say, "Hey, can you put that behind the the bar, and I'm just going to drink through that as we go through the rest of the day. Anyway, fun stream, fun times, a Wrexham win. Brendan, thank you for everything. Let's sign off. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.